And a happy Friday morning to you. No intro once again today. Somebody's saying we should play Oilers goal songs. I just don't have the technology for that. This is the EST Hangout presented by Mott's Clamato Caesar. Every day until we get an intro, I'm just going to start with an excuse as to why we don't have an intro. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola with you here. Joining us, Jay Milne, as he does almost every Friday. You'll be here for the majority of today's show. And then joining us, Scott Laurie. From Sobeys,
Thanks for having me.
Safeway Liquor, and Beer of the Week, Red Beard. Thank you for coming by and sticking around.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. It's different sitting in this room. Normally, like a desk in front of you, it's a little different. But
hey, are still allowed to have the drinks though?
Not alcoholic Beer of the Week this week. So
I was saying you had a great energy on the morning show today.
Good.
I was feeling it.
Good.
I was feeling on my drive in. You were bringing the sunshine.
Well, I try. I'm a pretty positive guy.
Well done. And I was giggling when your dad texted.
I know.
I was like,
well, like how he also didn't say hi to you. It was just your mom says hi.
Mom says hi. Dad, no, you don't say hi.
No
love.
No, that's what my dad does. The same thing. Your mom wants to know if you're okay. Yeah, I'm good, but you don't care.
Yeah.
Well, I guess. I mean, she's covered everything.
The
same thing.
Yeah. No, they're in Mexico for 2 months, so they go down there. Miss winter, right? That's the joy of being retired.
Though.
Yeah,
I'm good for that. That's phenomenal.
I think that's the way to do it. Snowbird for the whole winter, I think is too much.
Too long.
But you go through Christmas.
I don't know. I can't. How can you say that? You've never done it.
I would miss it.
Touche.
Like I would miss.
You don't know that for fact.
You would not miss it.
I would, but you're back here for Christmas. Like I'm already coming back for Christmas. I would have to. My niece has a birthday at the beginning of December, so I'm gonna have to come back for that. So now I'm already spending a bunch of December flying back up here.
Zoom them.
It's never that bad.
I know,
I'm
but
not gonna zoom that stuff.
I did. It was weird, but I did it.
You're gonna have enough money to go and PJ it wherever you want. So let's just say that you can come and go as you please. I mean, if we're living in a
I like Edmonton. I like being in Edmonton.
I didn't say you didn't like Edmonton.
But that's
all
like
do.
I'm not looking to leave here November, December. I'm still good. Like CFL season, I'm not leaving before CFL season's over.
I think if I was to be a snowbirder, I would not leave till after Christmas and New Year's as well, and then go down during
for 3 months.
Yeah, and that's you wouldn't want to do that.
That's what I was going to. I was saying I wouldn't like doing the people like
pre and
November through March or whatever.
I don't know
like
many
the 6
people.
months.
Yeah,
that's where I was going. I'm not a 6 monther.
Oh, you're not
but
like go down to
You go through Christmas, you hit New Year's, then you head down, and then you miss January, February, part of March. That's really the worst part of it.
January, February is the worst.
Easily.
For sure.
Not this, like Monday, what's it, 10 degrees?
It's mushy out there.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
The roads were like
those
wet.
roads are twicky.
Yeah. They were completely wet at 4 a.m. Like they didn't freeze or anything overnight.
It's like an northeastern type of winter right now. That feel where it's like that soggy snow,
heavy,
wet, heavy,
crappy to shovel.
And I was walking home yesterday as the game was ending, and I'm like, where am I? Boston? Like this is weird because that's the way they have their winters. It's like that, messy snow stuff.
It's been a weird winter, for sure.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Like the plus temperatures are not. It's odd. Like taking my son to indoor soccer and stuff like that. Usually it's cold, and and we were like, he's wearing his shorts, like he's ready to play, and it's just very strange.
Yeah, it has been odd. I mean, when we got blasted with that minus 40 or whatever it was, that was a harsh
reminder,
realization, a reminder. But like, I'm sure we're gonna get hit hard again at some point in February, but
it's almost over.
More snow, I guess, for the farmers. Outside of that, this is lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, whoever's controlling the weather in the Matrix.
I asked my uncle that they're quite a big farming operation they have out by Vegreville. And I asked him, I said, because everybody says, oh, we need more snow for the farmers, more snow for the... I said, is that really a thing? And he's like, nah, not like yes, but he said, and maybe Norman a Combine can chime in, or some of, I know there's a lot of listeners that are in the agricultural community here. He said, anyways, is that it's that spring and like that June rain, like post-seeding rain, that is the most important.
Okay.
Not necessarily the water or the moisture that it's in the soil come start of spring. So that's what I heard.
Do you know where this impacts? So all of Alberta, it's the wildfires. The start of the year, potential fires.
That's true.
There are like a bunch of active
Still
fires
going?
actually still going right now in the province.
That's crazy.
I saw them on my drive down for vacation last year. Not even vacation, but I saw them last year, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
By Fernie, it was
and it's
bad.
But in the winter,
I
there
know,
are still
I know.
some that are actively going at this very moment.
They're just kinda-
because we just have had enough, and then that just leads to a rough spring, and then Elks games and everything's getting postponed, or whatever's
Awful.
happening. If kids can't go outside because
Yeah.
it's too smoky and stuff, that's a big concern
What's
that we have
the
to worry
air
about. moving
index
forward.
at today?
The air index.
12. That's not good. What am I breathing in? Ash.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yeah, I mean, you saw. We had a few communities where we have stores that we were completely shut down. I mean, communities evacuated last year.
Yikes.
So, I mean, we're hoping that that's where you're right. That's where we need the water there, and golf courses, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you, Scott.
golf courses.
So the priorities.
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 Community
Let's-
safe and golf
fires
courses open.
Selfishly,
Priorities.
yes.
And golf
and then
courses
golf
open.
courses,
Right,
so we
exactly.
could get on the course. You golf a lot.
I used to.
Yeah?
Then I got kids, so it's it's taking 4 or 5 hours on a Saturday.
How
when
old
you
are
have
the kids?
My daughter's 17. My son's 14.
Yeah, but now you're good.
Getting there.
No?
Getting there.
Like
They should be
they're-
going with you.
Yeah, I know. But trying to get my son involved in it
Yeah.
for sure. He's busy with soccer and basketball and everything else, right?
Sure.
So it's like there's always a game going on, or my daughter needs a ride somewhere. So getting her license, and then
Yes.
like some of these kind of things taken care of, and then we'll get back on the golf course. Yeah, I took my wife. We actually went for the first time out in Camrose. Took her out for the first time. She loved it. Just there's
Your
a
wife
small
did?
little course. Yeah.
Good.
She's like, we should do this again. I'm like, yes. Now that's it, right? Like,
Oh, you don't say that sounds
That's
like a
a great
wonderful
idea.
idea.
Yeah.
Babe,
How about next
you
weekend?
know. Yeah.
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Now, did she play or was she driving the cart drinking?
All
Or
of the
all
above.
three.
All of the above. When I learned,
Yeah.
my dad took me out when we learned, it was like, play a couple of shots and then drive the cart.
And have a couple shots.
Well, I
Have a
was
couple
little.
shots.
That was I waited till I was
Just a
10.
half shot at that
Yeah,
time.
Just a nip.
Exactly. Lots of
Son,
Pepsi,
you're going to be a man soon.
yeah, quick beer. But yeah, so I mean, we just if you get tired in the hole, you pick up the ball. If you don't want to hit that shot, pick up the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, who cares,
Yeah.
right? So it was a lot of fun though. It was a nice little small course.
Yeah, that's a nice, midweek, kids
Yeah.
are at school, and if you're free with your wife to go away and just go do a quick 9.
Yeah.
That's nice. I find
yeah.
in most cases, I'm usually good at 9. Like, I think there was a discussion of maybe, I don't know when or how this, but like of a 13-hole golf course or something like
Yeah,
that.
that was a few years
I'm on
ago, right?
board with that. That would be the perfect, because then by the later holes, it's getting a little sloppy, and then somebody comes up with the idea that, hey, we should do this again and keep playing, and that's the conversations that happen on holes 15 through 18. So I
Those
think
are
if
the
you
best decisions.
well,
I've never had a bad time going another 9
Hey,
holes. I'll say that.
The beer on the 19th hole is almost as good as that first sip after a game of hockey. Like, it is elite.
Yeah.
And I've done some like golf dates, Jay, and I love it. And obviously, you need to have a girl who's a golfer. But I've done golf dates, and people are like, "Oh, weird." And I'm like, "No, it's actually a lot of fun."
you learn a lot.
Yeah, 'cause there's a lot of
I
talking.
mean, if you can't swing a club, sorry,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it ain't happening.
yeah.
I'd be terrible on a golf date.
Maddie,
think-
it's fun
Yeah, but I'd be focused too much on my game.
because there's
Like,
so
I
many
would
things you
just
can talk about.
there'd be that bad shot, then all of a sudden I'm not talking. It's like, damn shot.
You have to
Just
let that
awful.
go.
But I wouldn't.
You're on a
I
date.
wouldn't. I wouldn't. That's the
It
problem.
might-
I know
it might
you would.
I
distract you.
absolutely wouldn't. That's why it would be the worst thing for me.
It
Like,
might distract you just enough.
Yeah,
where then I'm not playing well.
Well, then you don't maybe not caring as much.
Well, maybe you get out of your own way too.
Yeah.
By the golf
There's
distraction.
fair.
That
I'm
might
not
that might
thinking
help.
enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or I'm just gonna get too nervous in my shot because I'm trying to play too well. I'm gonna get
I don't
even
think she
worse.
cares
Then I'm
if-
gonna,
if you're a
but
good
I'm
golfer
gonna
or
think
not.
that she cares.
She doesn't.
And then
Yeah.
I'm gonna do worse.
But I think you
and I'm gonna play worse, and then I'm
right.
gonna get mad. I'm just gonna get more angry,
Right.
and then I'm gonna get the it's okay, and then I'm gonna get really
then
mad.
you get really mad.
Well, and then you can start hole number
Maybe the
2
golf
and start
date-
that whole
yeah.
process again.
Yeah, then we're only through one hole.
Maybe the golf date isn't
That's
necessarily
what I'm
for
saying.
you.
Like for me, I think it'd be awful. I don't think I could cut it off.
Maybe axe throwing.
oh my god.
I would have like the range finder.
Yeah.
No, you want this 7-iron here,
Yeah.
not that club.
And, yeah, you're mansplaining her swing to her. Oh gosh, this would look
Man,
bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, good point because
Yeah.
you don't want to look like a doofus in front of her, but at the same time, she wants to look cute, have fun, be chipper. You just gotta match the energy.
I think that's where Top Golf actually is.
Top
does
Golf
well.
is amazing.
Is that it
Driving range,
nails
yeah.
the date night
Yeah.
type thing, or like the friends gathering where guys, girls, all of them buddies come together.
Yep.
And it's that social element with the music and the drinks playing, and who cares? You're just
Yep.
hitting this ball. The boys could just try to bomb it as far as they can, the ones that can. Everyone else could just do whatever. They could play their games. There's like an Angry Birds game. Just have a good time.
It's super fun.
Big
Top golf
Uke
is
says that Seba Beach is 12 holes, and it was an ideal amount. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Well, like I think that is a nice amount, especially like if you're golfing with a foursome with your buddies or whatever. You want that full 18 to
Yeah.
have the conversations and the making fun of each other and all that. But if it's like just you and a date, you do want to maybe move on and go for dinner or go for lunch or something like that, because generally you're on borrowed time.
Yeah.
If you have children in the mix.
Isn't it 9 holes only for a date then? Spency 5
Yeah.
cents. He says golf date for 9 holes, maybe not 18. You don't do an 18.
No, you don't do 18. That's way too much, especially if it's like, heaven forbid, it's a first date.
Early.
I've done that. But Jay,
What if things go wrong?
but Jay, the
You're
girls.
stuck for that.
Oh, you're praying
in the
for rain.
cards.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Please rain. Please rain.
what if she doesn't like hockey, Tom? And then you're
Well, that's
you're-
fine.
Can you just imagine Tom just driving miserably? When is this? Oh, I shouldn't have done the 18.
But the caveat is the ones that I've done the full 18 golf dates, they were golfers. Like they were like actual like they play twice a week and they were like making fun of me. And I was like,
Okay,
damn,
okay.
all right,
All
this
right.
is great. And I like that. It was a lot of fun. But if it's just like a girl who's a casual golfer, then yeah, probably 9 or 12 if at Sebo Beach is probably more
But as
ideal.
they say, isn't 18 a risk though? Because let's say you go 5 holes in and you realize this isn't a good date.
You bail at 9.
You got to know going into that.
Yeah.
But isn't it
18
tough
hole.
to bail on 9 when you've paid for 18?
Yeah, and you look like a jerk if you do it, but I don't know, like
That's a risk, isn't it?
yeah, it is.
Because
But
like you're committing to 4 hours,
Yeah.
maybe 4.5,
true.
where you're like, we're in this. We're in this together.
This is an interesting take by Mr. Kellington, who's always in on the nasty chat. My brother told his daughter a golf date is great. You can be sure he has a shirt with a collar, for one, and he's willing to spend time and money for fun, and you can't fake your temper for an entire game of golf.
Yeah. You
That's
learn a
where
lot.
this would blow up for Maddie.
Yeah.
Because your true
Oh,
colors
like
would
trying
come
to
out.
like hold it in.
Yeah,
no, it'd be
you're
awful.
not a hold it in guy.
It'd be awful.
So this poor woman would just feel the whole onslaught of, and maybe
Actually, what happens is I don't get mad at other. I just get quiet.
Yeah,
I don't
knew it.
talk.
Yeah.
I knew
I
it.
don't
Yeah.
talk. I don't say anything. I just sit there quietly, and then I don't want to talk though. So like when people start talking to me, I'll be very short.
I've heard you mutter on the golf course though, with lots of expletives.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
There'll be a
that.
lot of that. There'll be smashing the club in the ground occasion. I've gotten a lot better at that. A lot better. It was really bad
Good.
at one point.
Scott, are
Good.
you a music golf guy
Oh, yeah.
or no music golf
Music.
guy? Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Big
Same.
time.
My
parents had their own cart at the golf course in Fort McMurray where we grew up, so it had a tape deck with speakers and stuff. Like it was so we've always.
Oh, so you've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah,
with the music.
That's OG
always
stuff
listening
right
to music.
there.
Yeah.
Wow.
tape deck cranked up.
Good for
Yeah,
you.
it was good times.
The carts nowadays, you can pimp them out. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you can make them look like a muscle car or like a Cadillac from the 50s. Like, it's
Yeah.
pretty neat what they're doing. Obviously, it comes with a cost, but
Murray's getting new carts at the ranch. I'm trying to remember if he said there's Bluetooth in it or not.
there should be. Like, all of them now, it's pretty standard. And you know what? It's good. My uncle's a pretty hardcore golfer. And I'm like, hey, Diego, I'm going to put on some music. Do you mind? And he goes, no, not bad. Just let it play. And
Yeah.
because like you walk away, you get 10 yards away and you don't hear it.
No, and if they put them in the cart to begin with, then people aren't bringing their own and blasting it, so then you can
And
control
losing
the
it.
level,
That's a
you
neat
can control
point.
the level.
Yeah.
I've never
Right.
seen a golf cart that had speakers where you could hook up to them.
Cattail, has
Cattail
them.
does it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
You connect Bluetooth, or they actually have FM radio in it, so you can listen
Yeah.
to just FMs.
Yeah.
It's great. I always think like I'm not good enough to care. Like if
Right.
people like if like and I don't mind if people are talking when I'm playing. Like again, I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
For that to make an impact, and if it does, then that's on me, right? So let's have a good
It's
time.
a great point.
Like,
you know, golf, like,
don't play
none of
enough.
us are good enough to be serious about this
No.
at all.
You make
Except
that sound like I'm never going to get my PGA card. I'm still holding out hope, Jay.
Senior-
Still
senior
holding
card.
out
Easy
hope.
Senior
their
card,
shoulders.
senior
Oh, boy.
card.
Easy their shoulders.
Yeah.
You got a long way to go, okay?
Where it does become obnoxious is when you can hear the cart from a
Right.
hole or
Yes.
two away. It's
Right.
like, come on.
Yeah.
relax.
I like just standard. Like if I'm golfing around and we're always quiet when we're hitting, I don't like then someone just starting to talk on the 12th hole type thing. Because now like mentally I'm used to, okay, no one's talking. I'm trying to, and then if you start talking, it messes. Or if we're always talking and then all of a sudden one hole everyone's quiet, it bothers me because it's like, why? What's going on? Like, why aren't you guys all talking or something? I don't know. I like the consistency through a round.
Most groups
if that
get
makes sense.
like you get a hole or two in, and you start to get a feel.
I know, but if it changes, like it's weird to me, like because I overthink my shot too much.
No kidding.
I know.
I don't care
So
what.
it's just like I just. But if there's that lack, like if there's that change, that's where it just. I don't want to say bothers me, but it can mess with my shot.
Right.
I think it's just general sportsmanship. Well-being on the tee box. No, like when a guy's addressing the ball, it's quiet time.
Yeah.
Right.
See, and I'm cool if somebody wants to talk. But it's just to me, it's like if I get used to that through the first few holes, then I'll be ready for the rest of the round. But then all of a sudden you get quiet. I think, what's going on? Like, is something happening? Why are you guys all quiet?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
are you talking about me? Are you
thinking
am
too
I
much.
looking? Well, that's my point.
Yeah.
So I just like it to be standard.
I think you got to know your foursome too, right? Like, so if I'm
good
hitting,
point.
I don't care. People can talk, they can play the music, but then if you're going up there, maybe we all know, okay, just let's take a break and then carry on. Like, I think you got to know your foursome a little bit too, right? Like, it doesn't have to be
That's a great point.
just relax. It's golf.
We should do a hangout on a golf course.
Like we
through
know a
rounds.
guy that owns one that has
I
a
know.
show on
I'm
this
just patient. We could do 9
I
holes.
wonder.
We just need one person to like film us. We could be mic'd up. It's like the match.
Zach to come.
That would be
Yeah.
really cool.
And all
Be a
we're
lot of
doing,
fun.
just doing this, but we're just walking the course.
That's a great
lot of
idea.
fun. I think so.
Murray has Starlink out at
Yes, he does.
the ranch, right?
Yes, he does.
I
pretty-
don't know.
So I didn't mean to look at you like, hey, give me the answer.
Jay, can you call Murray?
Jay, please go to Murray.
He's a big Starlink. He knows where all they are in Edmonton.
Well, let me check out my
Driving around.
Starlink map.
Yeah,
Thank you. I knew you'd know, Jay.
Yeah, we could do like full match.
That'd be awesome.
be a lot of fun.
Just an excuse to go golfing.
Any excuse will do.
Could you imagine beer of the week on the course?
Yes.
Me too.
Well, I was thinking, you guys are all going to Vegas. I was like, if that falls on a Friday,
We're back.
I know. I said if it was, I was going to have to go to Vegas to do beer of the week. But since you're back, it's
Dang
okay.
it, hey?
Well, let's just go like next month
Okay,
too.
sure.
Or the month after.
Oh,
Let's
I'm
just
sure
do beer of
it's-
the week once a month in Vegas.
in an
in
exotic
Vegas.
locale.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, Scott travels quite a bit.
I do.
Let's just follow you.
Okay, sure, sure.
Okay.
Maui's next.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I've never been.
Oh, you gotta go. It's paradise.
I've
It's
heard.
the greatest place on earth.
I want.
I've never been to Hawaii as well.
It's
Me neither.
awesome. Oh, it's expensive. It's not a cheap holiday. It's not it's not going to Mexico and all inclusive, but the people are great. The speed for me is nice and slow.
I like good pace.
Just chill. Things shut down pretty early, so you can get up early. It's just Maui is phenomenal. The weather's always perfect. The beaches are great. The people are great. Yeah, love
Need to
it.
get out there.
Love it.
Okay, that's where we're doing our next beer of the week on location.
And lots of good beer. Lots of good beer. I always
That's
try
cool.
and there's
What's the beer out there? Like, is that a West Coast IPA?
No, they do quite a bit of. They'll mix a lot of fruit and flower into their kind of beers. So you
Sure.
get like hibiscus and things like that. You'll get the coconut. Obviously, Maui Brewing makes a phenomenal coconut beer.
Really?
Yeah, really, really good. Kona Brewing is really good. Maui Brewing is really good. So there's a bunch. There's quite a few out there. So everywhere you go, there's always good breweries. We try and make it a point to whatever city we're in, whatever new place we go to, we try and hit a brewery.
Breweries always also have great food.
Yeah,
They always do.
yeah. Good stories, good
Great
food,
menu.
good people.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah.
Usually like
best.
Appy's style, menu.
Or a good barbecue. Some of them have really good barbecues, and
Sometimes I've seen a lot of food trucks that show up at
Yeah.
breweries and they kind of commingle.
That's cool.
That's cool.
That is a really good idea.
I like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's expensive to run a kitchen, right? Like, so some of these breweries, there was a brewery in Saskatchewan that because you have to have food, it's kind of part of your license.
Okay.
So they would.
Oh, yeah, you have to,
They have
for
to
sure.
be able to offer something, and whether that offer is a Northern Chicken partners with a lot of breweries in Edmonton, so that'll be their menu. So they just have to have availability to call them and get food brought in. But food trucks make sense. There's a brewery in Saskatchewan that was doing Hungry Man dinners. So like a Tuesday night was like $3 Hungry Mans.
I've
So-
had one of those.
Yeah, so like,
Maybe
it was
two.
huge. It's a university, right?
That's
so
the
like,
Lieutenant Eric diet.
yeah, beer and a Hungry Man. Yeah,
Yes.
you want the turkey or the Salisbury steak? That was kind of your two choices. But anyway, not necessarily the great barbecue and the great meal, but they can have some. It's
a good gimmick.
Great fun with it.
if you're by a university or anything like that,
That's where it was.
Yeah,
It was perfect.
that is
made sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to go there?
Yeah.
Cheap dinner, get some drinks,
Yeah.
have a great time.
Yeah.
Tacos on food trucks are usually just the bomb. Mm-hmm. Bomb.
Tacos anytime are good.
I had some good ones the other day. Yeah. I finally checked out the place right by
Maria?
Maria, yeah. Lovely.
Very good.
Yeah. Very authentic. It was delicious.
Date
My
night?
parents loved it. No. My parents were over. I was like, let's go check out this Mexican place.
Hernan loves it. Hernan told
If
me about it
Hernan
first.
likes
He was the one-
it, you know it's
Hernan
good.
told it to Sergio Castillo, former kicker of the Elks.
Yeah.
And Castillo, I guess, was always looking for like the great Mexican food, and he said that was just like the best he's had.
The prices were good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's key, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
They do like dueling piano and like salsa nights and stuff. And I'm always like, I like we have an interesting street on 103rd. Obviously, you have the arena at the one end, and then you go all the way down to Jasper, and then there's a few. It's like the offshoot of 104th Street, and you got a couple of bars and restaurants. And I'm always like Old Spaghetti Factory's right there.
Yeah.
I love
The
it.
boardwalk,
Yeah.
right?
It's the boardwalk, yeah, and I can smell them making the sauce and all.
Is the
those-
creperie still downstairs?
They moved.
No, they moved.
Oh,
yeah.
did they?
I forgot where they moved to. But sometime last year, I think they moved.
You know what was funny?
Great
That was
spot.
like the go-to place for when you were in like I forget what grade it was.
High school.
High school
For French
class, right?
Yes.
The creperie.
The creperie.
Yes.
And
Did you
like,
go? Did you not take French in AOB?
I did take French, but I don't remember ever going there.
Lemiski was classes always.
Mrs. Lomiski. She was.
you
she
guys
was
went
great.
to high school together?
Different.
I went to high
ages.
school with his brother, although I was a year ahead of
You
him.
would have went with my cousin at one point too.
Yeah, and then you'd have to
Different grades.
order in French.
Okay.
Everything had to be done in French, and it was a getaway. And it was like, oh wow, you're downtown, and there's boards under your feet,
Yeah.
and it was an experience
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Oh, they haven't opened up in a new location. They just said we're currently closed and be moving to a new location. Please stay tuned for updates. And that was June 1st on their website.
So what's down there?
So it's not open.
I think it's
up
the
right now?
basement part. It's just
Or-
empty right now because I
Really?
walk by quite a bit. But like Old Spaghetti Factory is always busy. My dad's like, "Let's go to the Old Spaghetti Factory." I'm like, "You're Italian, and we're going to Old Spaghetti Factory. Like this is what we're doing."
Yeah.
I need to go there. I just need to because I can smell them making the sauce. Like
been a
my
long
my
been.
It's been a long time.
I've
since
never
there.
been.
You've never been to the old spaghetti factory?
Never.
Oh, go.
I've never been either.
You get so much food.
Are you joking?
I've never been.
Oh, legit.
Legit.
Yeah. Well, let's go.
Sure. Dates.
it's good
Sure.
food.
Yeah.
You get a salad and an ice cream with it, and they give
Do
you
not
great
eat the
bread.
bread.
Hey,
Scott,
they give you
You're gonna
great
be
bread.
full.
with-
You're gonna be full.
yeah,
Scott and I will
you're
bring
gonna
our
be full
wives.
no matter what.
You guys bring each other.
Sure.
I love it.
he's,
That's it. We're in.
he's my neighbor.
Doc says the creperie moved to the south side, Hamptons area.
Yeah, but online it's called the French Creperie. Is that the same place? Because they haven't
It
updated-
was Le Creperie.
Yeah, the Creperie their website. I'm just on it right now. Does say we are closed because we're moving. Follow our socials to learn more.
They
And
rebranded maybe
on
as well.
Facebook, it's not called the French Creperie, and it has their ad permanently closed. Actually,
Oh.
it's saying so. Maybe it's just completely closed.
That sucks.
There was
Oh, that
another
makes me sad.
taco place we went to just the other day, El Miro. It's just on 156.
Oh.
It's really good. It was really, really good. So
I like how obviously like you go to the U.S. you go especially Southwest Phoenix area, all that Vegas. You get like the true, you get authentic Mexican because it's people from Mexico.
Yeah.
But now it feels like we're getting some better, more authentic Spanish flavor,
Yeah.
Latino flavor up here, which is phenomenal because when it's fresh, it's amazing.
yeah, it was really good. Good beer. They had good beer on tap, and I think it was 10 tacos for $50.
See, and that's the thing. Like the place to go, as everybody knows, and I'm now the sausage sultan of Strathcona County.
Wow.
Is that what one?
The place, the sultan.
that the name that one?
Yeah,
Sultan?
Yeah, the sultan sausage sultan of Strathcona County.
Solid title.
Rolls off the tongue.
So I reside out that direction, and there's a place in Sherwood Park called La Patrona.
Jack
which
loves that
is
spot.
amazing.
Yeah.
It is really good. But it is dear. Like do you know what that means, dear?
Go on.
Do you know what dear means? I think I shouldn't say
Expensive?
this. Yes, expensive. It is very expensive. Like to feed my family, it'd be close to $100.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like for takeout. That's just getting the goods. There's no
Oh.
alcohol. Like,
That's
and-
almost standard though.
everyone-
Like, things are
everyone-
going.
I'm not saying
like,
that
you
it's
go to
a-
McDonald's right now,
Yeah.
it's like $15 for a meal.
I'm not saying it's a
Yeah.
slight towards La Patrona. I love La Patrona. And they've got a wicked food truck, which you've probably seen around. It's usually out in Edmonton as well. But it is, I don't know why Mexican or tacos, like it seems to be like the same price as going to the keg.
It shouldn't be. It's supposed to be cheap, quick, and fresh and delicious.
Maybe I don't, maybe I'm out to lunch on that.
It doesn't matter where you go. Yeah.
Yeah, but Taco Bell comes with a lot of problems after. That is not authentic Mexican.
Edmonton has a great food culture.
Yes, yeah, we do.
Like
People
it's really
notice
grown
it,
over the last 5 years or so, where we're actually really renowned you know, for the food that we have in our city, and some great chefs and great restaurants, and it's pretty cool to have.
It's neat because like all the visiting teams and then like the media, they'll be like, "Hey, where do I go?" And you're like, that place. They're like, "Oh, I saw that one chain." And you're like, "Yes, but try this, try that. Do you want Italian? Go here. Do you want Mexican? Go to Maria." Like, and they go there and they're like, "Oh my god!" And a lot of the older reporters too that would always just go to like Sherlock's because it was close to the West End where the teams would stay all the time, or Hotel Mac. Now that they're in the district, they can spread it out. They can go. You can go east towards City Hall and go to the old haunts, and then you can go to 104th Street. There's so many options, and now they're like, "Oh, I love this place. I love that place," and you're like, "Yes,
Yeah.
enjoy."
Bistro Praha is a big one.
Bistro Praha is big
for the
with media and players visiting from out of town.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots. I mean, the arena's brought a ton of that stuff down there,
Yeah.
right? Like, there's just lots to do, and you can kind of wander around and try a bunch of different things. And
And it's nice to be like, see, we have it.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Castor 1990 says, Tommy, the old spaghetti factory is a downtown staple.
I know.
You have to go just for the ambience of being in an older warehouse building, boardwalk, something the West End version can never duplicate.
It's always busy. Did you notice that, Maddie? Like my balcony looks up right to 103rd Street, and I'm like, I'll sit out there, have a beer, and people going in the spaghetti factory. I'm like, damn, that place is like everybody
good.
goes there. Yeah. We walked by it the other day. My dad's like, we used to go here for lunch all the time. I'm like, again, you live with an old Italian lady, or you did growing up, and she made great sauce and pasta, and you would always go to Old Spaghetti.
That tells you how good it is. Then.
Yeah, and
how
then
it's worth it.
You get so used to one thing too. But
This is interesting. Commissioner Quinn
I was
comes
about
in.
to say, thank you for that.
So in our tourism research, 52% of the online conversation is about how good our restaurant scene is. And then she follows that up by saying that she feels we need to push more about breweries now.
totally.
Agreed.
Commissioner Quinn.
Commissioner Quinn knows. She's Explore Edmonton now. She's an
She would
ambassador
know.
for the
She
city.
would know.
On top of being an excellent commissioner, the best we've ever had.
Probably the best in my
By
tenure
far.
anyways.
Did we ever have another one?
They could. I mean, the breweries are trying to get together and do a bunch of that themselves, but I'm sure that there's a way to kind of link that two together. Like, I mean, right now they're doing weird beer. So a bunch of the breweries are doing weird beer tours. So you can kind of go around a bunch of local breweries, get a stamp, and you get a collector's glass if you hit them all.
Cool.
But like Growlery's doing a sweet potato maple pie beer.
What?
Alley Cat's doing I think it was blue. It was a blue sour. I think passion fruit sour. They're weird beers. A green onion cake beer at
That's got to be a fringe beer.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Taste
Out
of
at,
Edmonton.
Endeavour.
That would
Taste of
hit
Edmonton.
off.
Yeah, so they're all. So I mean, they're trying to do this. There's Happy Beer Street, which is another whole group of Alley Cats part of that one too. That they drive through, that you can hit a bunch of these breweries in a row and kind of connect the dots. So there's a ton. We're really really lucky in Edmonton and Alberta with the number of really good breweries we have here. It's crazy.
Question: do the microbrews and the breweries, the established ones, Alley Cat obviously, do they generally get along?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's cool.
It's a pretty good community. I mean, they're competitive in that they want to do well, but they're very supportive of each other. You'll notice little groups of breweries that they're helping each other out. Whether it be, especially during setup. If you ever see a new brewery opening, there's usually 2 or 3 other brewers that are there, or breweries that are there, kind of hey to like try. This is where the mistakes we made. Right. And there's an Alberta Brewers Association that kind of helps with that stuff and gets them connected with, support services and things like that. But yeah, no, they're super. That's why you see so many good collaborations of beers, right? Like you'll see 2 breweries making one together.
Cool.
They are a very supportive community.
When we went to Alley Cat, I think, for the video we created for 6 o'clock or lager, I think somebody from a different brewery was sitting there at the bar drinking.
That's awesome.
Like that's
really?
how. Yeah, I think
That's
I'm
awesome.
trying to remember. I can't remember from which brewery or anything, but yeah, we're
Well,
just
that
talking. They were
99th
just
Street-
right there, and it was like, okay, well,
Yeah.
that's just how it is. That a different guy just wandered over to Alley Cat to drink their beer, and chat with them.
That's
and
cool.
they want to share like what kind of what yeast are you using? What are you trying new? They're very, very good. It's
a healthy competition.
It is,
where
for
it's
sure.
like you want to be the best brewery.
Yeah.
But you want everyone else to be great too.
Well, and it's better for everybody if they're succeeding. Like, you don't want to ever see breweries close.
No.
So, if they can help each other out, it makes sense,
I like that.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
on that
very good.
99th Street, there's Alley Cat.
Yep.
Then there's
Omen.
but Sea Change.
Yep.
And then there's that one that's further close towards White Ave. It's got a big orange, I don't know, thing outside of it. But it used to be a brewery before. Then it
Like
went.
Situation. It was Situation.
Maybe
that one?
not Situation.
Polar
But
Park?
I think there's like
No, they're not there anymore
They're not
either.
there anymore.
there's
No,
like
they're
4
brewing,
breweries within. And
Yeah, there is.
one of like Omen.
Yeah.
Is in the parking lot of my warehouse.
but- Oh, okay.
Like we
great
look
beer.
at Omen, love those guys. They're really good dudes.
Yeah.
But sometimes we'll be there, loading up a customer after Saturday shift or something, and there's a bunch of bikes come in, like
Okay.
pedal bikes,
Yeah.
and they go in there, and then half hour later they zip off. I'm pretty sure you could do like a bike pub tour
Yeah.
on 99th Street,
For
no
sure you could.
problem.
Didn't Cam
you
from
could
Alley
scoot 'em.
Cat say that?
Yeah.
That they
And
always
then
bounce
Richie, there's
to
one
each
in
other?
Richie too. There's a little meat market there.
I know which one you're talking about. I went there this summer.
Shitties? Is that like
No,
that's
no,
That's
no.
Sea Change too. That's
because she's Queen Phillips. Queen
That
Phillips
one.
says is the orange thing.
Yeah.
Shitty, so that's Sea Change as well.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's their arm
Is
of
it
distilling.
okay? Is it a open to public place, or is that just strictly for brewing?
No, I think it's open to public.
Yeah, so there's like
Yeah.
6 or 5 that you can knock off on your bikes.
Yeah. There's
Then
actually
head down to the Riverhawks.
Oh,
which would be
Hell
phenomenal.
yeah.
Which they just did an amazing job of
Do you
craft
guys
beer,
want to
too.
be part of the Section I gang this summer?
Sure. I took my son for his birthday, him and some friends to Riverhawks game. That was
Sweet.
what we did for his birthday party. It was like a Tuesday, so it was like hot dog day.
yeah, $2 hot dogs.
$2 hot dogs. So I just went up and I'm like, just grabbed how many can you give me, basically? And I just
I got 20 bucks, man.
Here's 5 boys.
Load
It's
me
like,
up.
here, eat these.
Making it rain.
Yeah.
Daddy's watching baseball.
Throwing hot dogs
They paid
around.
$100 at where you went. This is he's.
Yeah, no.
Imagine what he could have grabbed.
Right? Yeah, no, it was awesome. It was they're there. We did that, and we did a Stingers game as well
Those
last
are great,
year.
too.
And the kids loved it.
Stinger's schedule just came out. I didn't take a close look at it, so I'll have to look closer.
Get someone in on. We haven't had any Stingers on here yet.
You should get Jordan
No, but
Baker in
it's
here.
Yeah, you just
yeah, we'll have to.
Head
Yeah,
coach
now he's
and- head
taking
coach and
BNGM
GM.
now
Yeah.
of the team. Yeah, we'll have to plan some of those things moving forward.
It's great value.
I was just glad we finally got Scott on. Like
I know. Can
it's
I
like,
invite them to
You're here.
Section I gang? Because you're
Oh
kind
no,
of in
that
charge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
okay.
there's no one in charge. Just come
You
to
and
Section
Mooner.
I. Me
No,
and
you
Mooner
and
sitting
Mooner
there.
are in charge
There's no
of
one
Section
sitting in
I.
charge. It's just come see us, and we're.
I felt
if
like
you go
I
to
had to ask.
Section I, like there's a good chance Mooner and I are sitting there.
Very true.
But no, you've been here like it's every Friday, and I always go. We should just keep him around. And then I keep forgetting to ask, and then finally I got on it this
that's
year
great.
or this weekend.
That's good.
call.
It's we need to
It's
do
a pretty
that.
great way to start a Friday is to come in and drink and talk beer. So
Well, like you're like the best guest because it's like it's a Friday. You come in and you're like, I got
Yeah.
booze.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like awesome.
hey,
who's
beer guys
thirsty?
here. Yeah,
this-
everybody's always thirsty.
This is the EST Angle presented by
that's right.
Mott's, Clamato, Caesar, Matt Iwanyk, Scott Laurie, Jay Milne, Tom Gazzola with you here. Just a reminder, you could join Edmonton Sports Talk for the Super Bowl Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Sunday, February 11th, we'll have a chance to win EST merch, a spot on the Hangout, and more. Plus, the 6 o'clocker lager will be in stock. You'll be able to drink the 6 o'clocker lager while watching the Super Bowl. It's all available during the big game, only at Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge on Fort Road. Renee from Century will also be on the Hangout on Monday. So we'll chat with her and Josh Clausen. We'll recap AFC, NFC with those two. Clausen, by the way, I forgot where he is. He's got his, when he was on, he talked about his, he's got a show that he's rapping in. Double Dragon tomorrow on Jasper. Tomorrow night. Clausen's going. His show's tomorrow.
He's my favorite rapper.
So, Double Dragon tomorrow night. Doors at 9. He says he's on it just after 10ish. So they'll be on Monday. Gotta get that plug out there.
Still baffles me
Which part? That he's a rapper?
that he's a rapper.
Yeah,
It's great, isn't it?
that was amazing.
Like, is he an MC? Is that what you'd call him? Like in the rap culture?
I don't. What defines the
But he's-
MC in rap
But he's
culture?
an actual MC. He does a lot of MCing. Around
Yeah.
the
I
city.
know, like EMCEE, but I think in
Yeah.
rapping it's MC.
Is it?
I think. I don't know. Any rappers out there get in. And that
Majority.
meat market is Acme Meat Market.
Oh,
That's Corey Meyer, right?
Yeah.
Friend of
Corey the
EST.
Butcher.
Corey the Butcher.
And then Biera is at Richie.
Beer. So that's Blind Enthusiasm.
That's right.
So we drank them today.
And you had Arcadia as well, the Coliseum, and that's Darren over there, right?
They're awesome beers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did a 1260
Manchester.
beer when we went down, and we couldn't make it for that night where they unveiled it. But like Darren's very much involved. Obviously, like you mentioned, the seats and the signs from the old Coliseum.
Yeah.
Very much involved in the sporting community. Great
Yeah.
guys over there.
Yeah. I mean, they all are, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
all these people are they're good. They're good people.
Yep.
For sure. Yeah. 6 o'clockers back on tap everywhere, but kind of like
You did such a great job,
we got
Trevor.
lots of
Did
it
you ever
around.
envision that you'd have to drive around the entire city and province to move beers around?
No, but it was awesome. It was super fun. It was super fun.
Scott, like the beauty of 6 o'clock, obviously we're going to promote the living crap out of it because we're attached to it and we love it too. But I brought it to Rogan and the boys from the Oil Kings last week. And I was like, just tell me what you guys think and be honest. Like, if you don't like it, say it. And they sent a picture. They were in the laundry. There's the laundry room where the Oilers and Oil Kings share. And that's where everyone kind of congregates to talk. The coaches will walk in there. Players will go and sit in there. And Kevin Radomski was talking about it on the Hangout last week. And he sent me a picture, and they were all drinking 6 o'clocker, and they're like, reviews are in. Like, we love it. It's great. And I went and saw Rogan yesterday, and I was like, were you just BSing me, or what do you think? He's like, no, man, that is a very good beer. So, like, that's the beauty of it, and I hope it has that staying power. It feels like it does.
It feels like, I mean, I think it will.
Yeah.
Alley Cat really nailed it. I mean,
Yeah.
they made a great beer, and it was the right style. There was a lot of things that were right about
And
it.
lagers don't go to style.
No.
But here's the thing
Like,
that
that's
I
the
don't
thing.
know if
Yeah.
anybody's said yet, but I think it's a very, meaningful point. Is it's not even summer.
Yeah.
Like, think of how much
Ooh.
better this will taste in summer.
Yeah.
Don't break things.
That was Dusty, guaranteed.
Yeah, I just heard. Sorry about that. He dropped something. He dropped.
It was heavy.
That sounded heavy.
Yeah, it was very. Speakers maybe.
Oh yeah.
Maybe for you guys, Oil Stream at
Windermere.
Windermere Boston Pizza later today.
He was dunking.
No dunks allowed. He's not
He already
allowed to
tore
dunk.
up one knee.
Sorry,
down.
continue.
Yeah.
You were talking about it's
No,
not even
but I
summer.
mean, talk
beer.
about crushable. That thing, and beer hits differently on the deck at your home or when you're sitting around a fire in the summer than it would, say, when you're sitting on your couch watching an Oilers game. There's no question that mentally something changes. We haven't even experienced that.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, beer is environmental. I mean, if you're in a beer, all will always taste better in the experience when you're having a good time. So if you're in a brewery that's really cool and you taste a beer, you're gonna like it better than you are, maybe when it's raining and it's crappy and it's cold. Like it for
But patio
sure.
beers are so great.
That's why patio beers are so great because you're usually with
outside.
friends, you're celebrating,
The
there's
sun's
something going
shining.
on.
Not thinking about stuff.
The heat
Yeah.
on
a soccer game.
Exactly.
the heat
Those are
off
the
your
best.
face.
That's what we missed at the last World Cup. It wasn't patio
this summer's
beer,
gonna be
right?
good.
Oh, I hope so. I
Yeah.
I have got a flight to Atlanta.
Do you?
For that first Copa America match.
Wow, good for you.
So if Canada qualifies, if we qualify,
if yeah,
Argentina versus Canada, I'll have to
I'll
get my
allow
tickets
the
with
we
that.
on that one.
It is we. We're Canada.
I know.
I don't care what you have to say. I know. How was Zach on the show yesterday?
Really good.
Yeah?
Yeah, he did a great job. Kudos to Zach to come.
We're,
Good tutelage.
We were watching the Oiler game, me and him, a couple of games ago, and throughout the game he kept using the Wii's, and I kept nope. Oh, I don't know. Did you score? Because I was getting him ready
Attaboy.
for the thing, and then he jumped on the post game with Tommy, and in one comment he said "Wii's" 3 times.
And you had the
he corrected
you had the
himself
number
twice.
Yeah.
and then after Tommy just started laughing, I just put my hand in the frost shot with 3.
I had a case of the wheeze on the morning show the other morning, but I corrected myself every time
Attaboy.
because I knew
just a
it would just piss
etiquette
Tommy
thing.
off if I
Right.
didn't.
I wasn't going
Do
to say
that.
anything, Jay.
I will just say one more thing on the 6 o'clock lager. Hopefully, it looked like there's some talk of maybe, fingers crossed, we could see it at some golf courses too this year, which would be great.
damn,
awesome.
that'd be great.
That'd be a good course beer.
Schmitty at Sea Change has done a good job getting Sea Change to
courses?
this year, or last year or 2 years ago.
yeah, they do a good job.
Well, and there's a lot of craft at golf courses.
Spency
Like,
5 cents. He comes in and he said, and this Scott, you could speak to, is the plan for 6 o'clocker to eventually be in all liquor stores that would stock traditional Alley Cat, rather than just Sobeys and Safeway? I mean, I know
at a
that
certain point we won't be able to be the only guys.
Right.
So the Alberta government, you can only sell 1,000 cases through Connect, which is the main warehouse, before it has to be open to the public. So it's a rule that stops people from monopolizing something that's really, really hot. So as soon as we hit that 1,000K threshold, it'll be available to everybody, and then all liquor stores can order it once it's in stock.
But you guys will keep it, obviously.
Yeah, we'll keep it. Yeah, but until it's at that 1,000, we're pretty happy to keep it ourselves. But yeah, I mean, if we're in most towns as well, so we're around.
And truthfully,
You could always get to a Sobeys and Safeway
Yeah,
liquor.
like,
There's
truthfully,
one around.
For sure.
Sobeys and Safeway, and I would say this if you weren't sitting here, I find they have as far as we're not talking Sherbrooke liquor store here. We're talking a store that is very accessible for everybody. There's a lot of them. They have a lot, the best selection by far of local, craft breweries.
It's a good mix of being a normal liquor store that just gives you the popular stuff of just that everyone knows around the world, and then the stuff that's around.
Yeah, we know
Both
we're not
liquor,
specialty.
hard and beer-wise.
We know we're not specialty. Like, you can go to other places and get specialty stuff. Like, if you want to go in and get, a really expensive bottle of wine and you're a collector, you maybe aren't coming to our store.
No, there's
You're gonna go
stores
and
for that.
You're going to get hand sold something. You're going to order something in that you know of. That's their business. Sherbrooke does a phenomenal job. They're a great craft beer store, and they can really focus in on that, and they do an awesome job. They're great at it. We try and be that liquor store for everybody. We're convenient. We always pride ourselves on being convenient. We want you, if you want to get in and out as fast as you can, that's what we're there for. If you want to sit and chat and have a conversation, we'll do that too. But we want to kind of have everything for everybody, which means we can't have that really, really niche stuff in a lot of cases. We really focused 10, 12 years ago on craft beer, and we really make that. We want that to be a differentiator between us and the other convenience stores out there. So we do focus on local. We do focus on kind of new and exciting, but it comes at a cost of what else we can bring in, right? So
when you say did you have a stake at that table and say, let's move towards craft beer?
I mean, I think I've been with Sobeys Liquor since 2001. We had 5 stores, so I've been really lucky to be a part of kind of a group of awesome people that are super collaborative, and we get to make a lot of those decisions together. We have a great team of people, and I'm just an operator.
We'll just say it was all Scott.
I think I wanted you to say.
Yeah, no,
I wanted you to
not.
say, well, yes, I rubber stamped that myself.
Definitely not.
It was all me.
Definitely
He curated
Because
the
that was-
entire menu.
He's the Bill Belichick.
Yes,
No.
of this,
that was
you
an
know?
incredible move you made,
Not
Scott,
quite.
to
Not
go
quite.
ahead and focus Sobeys' attention on craft
Yeah.
breweries, because man, I can only imagine the amount of money you've made that company with your decision back in 2013.
Not so much.
So good job,
Yeah.
Scott. They owe you a great deal.
I'm sure.
I hope
I'm
they know
sure.
that.
sure.
I'm sure they do.
Yesterday on the post game, actually on the pregame too, we had a couple of texts. Tube Socks was in Calgary. I think I don't know if he's down there for work or pleasure. Though judging by his tone, it's for work, something like that, because he wasn't thrilled to be in Calgary. But
Well, he's in Calgary.
yeah, he exactly. I said no deep breaths. No, you don't want to suck in that air. But he had 6 o'clocker watching pregame at his hotel, and then I can't remember who, but they were in Okotoks and they picked up some 6 o'clocker and they were watching the pregame, and then a couple people on the postgame in the Calgary area as well. And they send in their pictures. I love how our new inbox can accept photos. We can send photos and stuff. And I was like, damn, okay, good. So it's like legit province wide. So
Yeah.
it's really nice to see.
Yeah,
Ty
we're
Jordan
all-
had some.
Ty did?
From Calgary in the Christmas time or something.
love that guy. He's good peeps.
Yeah, it's all over.
Speaking of saying like Calgary sucks kind of thing, like what we just,
Well, it's the truth. But
we were driving to the Oilers game last night, and it was the crew of us, my neighbors. Shout out to Danny. He is shout out Danny. He's a big time nasty. Loves the show. And we are coming over the crest by I forget the name of the traffic circle. It was just before you go down to say where Connors Hill is or
Oh,
whatever.
100
And
first tab, yeah, whatever.
you just see the downtown Edmonton staring at you, and we all kind of like, I don't know if it was timing, lighting, the darkness or what, but it was like, holy smokes, look at how beautiful that is. It was a really like the city, and then they have that new LRT bridge that you can see that has that neat lighting in it. Like it's really a beautiful downtown. Like to look at scenery wise, I think Edmonton's downtown by far outweighs Calgary's downtown.
Well,
I'd
nobody's
agree.
in
Given
Calgary's
now.
downtown anymore.
Well, I mean, now,
It's
right?
desolate,
Visually,
yeah.
I would agree.
And even, yeah, visually, like
Like-
skyline wise, even the way that our river valley is a river valley, right? Where theirs is kind of more subdued, where we do have banks and there is roads you got to get up and whatnot.
Well, in the summer, you get all that greenery that adds to it. And like, we're lucky we get a lot of sun.
Yeah.
And like in Edmonton, even, while we don't have the full day of it, like it comes up late, goes down early, but it'll be a blue sky in the winter. And it does add to that. Like if it was all cloudy, it would look a lot more miserable.
Well, I was out on the island here early in the week on Tuesday, Wednesday here, and it was warm. But it was dull. I'd rather be cold and sunny.
The sunshine is so important, I feel. Like it can be, like you said, it can be minus 30, and as long as that sun is shining, there's just something about it. The windows let on all the light in your house. It's just
Feels
a
better.
warmer feeling. It's just living in that. Ugh,
Is that
must
vitamin
be
D?
I think it
Is it
is
is the
vitamin
D?
D. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're lucky here.
Speaking
And
of
Calgary
the-
still sucks. Calgary still sucks.
Speaking of neighbor Danny was not happy with Leon Draisaitl last night.
Okay, with
Go
that, let's
on.
get to Movers and Shakers. Brought to you by Marco Mike Realty. Realty
All
One
right.
Group Insider. Let Marco Mike earn your trust. Visit marcomike.com for more information of all things to take away if the Oilers win 15 straight. It's what's up with Leon?
Well, and I mean, obviously we're nitpicking here, but did you
Clearly.
see him off last night?
He only had 3 points though.
I mean, but honestly, he probably
In
could
on
have
every goal.
He probably could have had double that.
Yeah,
Like- I mean, I don't know. Like, yes, I know you're going to get on the score sheet, right? I mean, anytime you're playing, him and McDavid were playing together, that's just going to happen. But I don't know. It just seemed like it'd be interesting to look at like his like stats in depth on giveaways and whatnot. Just I don't know. It seemed we were all noticing it, and Danny especially was noticing that. You didn't feel
that's
that.
fine.
You didn't feel that.
I thought that they were toying with the Hawks, especially in the third period. Like you heard Knobloch, and maybe he was watching Draisaitl closely, but Knobloch didn't seem overly enthused with the win and how he's like
Well, what's his
just good
comment
enough.
after?
It was
Yeah.
just good enough to win, right? Like
And he didn't just say that this game. Like he's
said
referencing a few games. He
Yeah.
said right now we're just it's being good enough
yeah.
to win.
So clearly there's some frustration kind of leaking out on his part.
4 giveaways for Draisaitl,
Yeah,
but he had 5 takeaways.
yeah. Like he's a guy
Just
watching
seemed
him.
lackadaisical last night.
But
in
Jay,
particular.
like I feel like I understand where Danny's coming from because Leon is a guy that you watch him and you're like, why is he skating so slow back to the bench? Why isn't he taking an extra hard step or two to get back to the bench? And why is he like throwing his head up in the air because he didn't like that somebody didn't pass to him? He's a magnet for that, and I think he always will be. But then at the end of the night, you're gonna be like, oh, he had
3 points.
2 goals and an assist, or 1 goal and 2 assists. You're
Well,
like,
Chicago should have been up 1-0 like within 3 minutes of that game. They put one right off the post.
yeah.
But Pickard, man, isn't he fun to watch? Like that
Little bit
easy
of
to-
old school
He
there,
fought
right?
it
Easy to
off
root
last
for.
night, man. He was playing goal. Like like there was he was just shutting everything down.
Yeah.
Like rebound control was really like he looked like a starting goalie last night. I mean, I know you're playing against an AHL team in
Sure.
the Chicago Blackhawks, but he sure looked solid. And the balls it took to put him in for a 15th in a row, that must have been some pressure, right?
Had to do it
On him.
He needed to get a game in. He
You
had
don't-
played in 2 weeks.
Yeah, on Pickard.
On Pickard.
Yeah. I think for Knobloch, because I was of the mindset you have to go with Pickard. I wouldn't put Skinner in that game for the rest.
Yeah.
Gager was on the flip side. We were discussing this yesterday. I think if you're Knobloch, you don't care about the streak. You're making decisions based on what you think is best for playoff time or the long stretch to
Right.
get to playoffs, to be ready for playoffs. And you obviously want to win. You obviously want to keep the streak going. You never want to lose a hockey game. But if you made a decision like that and it cost your streak, I don't think Chris Knobloch would care. I think he'd go, that was what I felt was best for the playoffs. Doesn't matter to me. I get for goaltending perspective, though, like you don't want to be the reason.
No,
that the streak,
that
streak
would have been
ends.
hard.
But does rest really matter for Skinner at this point for the playoffs coming up when they're playing like so?
I don't know.
infrequently
I
right now?
agree. Like,
it's-
that's a
If
good
they were
question.
playing back to back and playing a heavy schedule right now, I could see. I said they
But
should have
that's
played Skinner
coming.
less. I know, but then you're going to rest
And that's-
Skinner then.
And like I was on the flip side to
Yeah.
that, but we had Jeff Krishell on yesterday, and that's a guy who dealt with
He
this
might know a
stuff.
thing or
He
two
would
about
know.
that.
Oh, and he's saying this game, it doesn't matter, like in a sense. And he says the Oilers' strength team and all that, they would know and they would have it figured out. And so, like,
I think
I can't argue it now because Crusher saying, and even Gage are both going, no, like, this game wouldn't matter for rest for playoffs.
I don't know if it's necessarily physical rest as much as it is maybe mental
Right.
Yeah.
rest. Just to take a day off and breathe and know you're not having to be the starting goalie in net and have that 48 hours where you know that and you can kind of just give your mind a breather. I would say that is more of the rest that is alluded to. I mean, in the NBA, I think it's different because those guys are playing 5 out of 7 nights sometimes, right? Or, and you may need physical rest. Although I totally disagree with that anyways. You're a professional athlete. Like, get over yourself. Anyways, I
agree
digress.
with it.
Yeah, you would, right? You would.
If I'm a team that knows I'm going to be in the playoffs, I only care about the playoffs. And if that means I could get some extra rest for my players throughout the season, I'm doing it.
I know, but then what does that mean? They have more strength and energy come playoff time? Has nothing to do. No, zero.
This is why we need the soccer model, where you have the FA Cups and the Carabao Cups, and you can play the youngsters,
Exactly.
and then in the Premier League matchups, we play the big teams.
The big teams. You got and
Scott
then,
understands this.
And then maybe you win a game with your beast.
Oh my
And how
God.
great
And
is
it's
that?
phenomenal.
You
And
knock off a big team, and then if you get late in the competition, you go, well, actually, we'll go win this. We'll put our A team out
Exactly.
there. It's an awesome model.
U23.
You
this,
develop your
club
players,
that. Get
you give
outta
your other
here.
players rest, and you still go for
And you're
championships.
114 games a year.
Yeah.
Okay, here's
Imagine
I'm
relegation.
teasing, but-
Imagine like the relegation system is the greatest.
I think it's brilliant, honestly.
It's the greatest. I mean, if there's any way like the MLS could kind of figure that out with the Canadian League and everything else. If they could figure that out, it'd be beneficial for the game, I think. But if the major sports could somehow do that,
It takes a lot more money to do that.
That's the problem.
Because if, let's say, your beloved Edmonton Oilers got relegated to a secondary league,
AHL.
yeah,
Let's use that.
you're not showing up for that.
No.
But that's the risk.
yeah,
That's the thing.
pressure.
Is that
Well,
it's,
I
you
think
have
you're
the
playing with
pressure
fire
for
in
that,
that, whereas-
where then you fall out. Well, now, like, one, you should be a good enough team that then you back up the next year.
Right.
But it's that's the risk of now falling out of relegation. And that's why what makes games at the end of the season matter so much. In the NHL, we see, well, who's going to get awarded a number 1 overall pick?
Yeah.
Over there, it's, well, who's going down? Because that's a big
Millions
deal.
and millions of dollars.
those teams have to play hard to stay up.
But they have a secondary league that is below that people still show out to,
Yeah.
and in droves. You don't have that in the AHL.
But I think that's because there's nowhere for them to go. Like the best you're going to do is you're going to have a top end teams that are going to win, the whole thing. But if you had teams coming up and coming down, you're still going to have remnants of those players coming down. So there's still a good team, and the thought of promotion or relegation is going to get more people out to those games. It's the owners that you'd never convince.
Exactly.
Like the Ontario Reign fan base might be like, our team might go to the NHL this year. We got to support our team because we could get into promotion. And then we're in the NHL next year. And then we get part of the TV money. And this is a big deal. And all of a sudden, the San Jose Sharks right now are going, oh my God, we might be in the American Hockey League right away here.
Playing
We've got to
against
figure
your
this
farm
out.
team.
And
In
Trent
your own
Deadline
way.
Day for
And
them is going to
losing
be
to
like,
them.
oh my God, we got to get some players to this team right now because we need to stay above the float. Otherwise, we're going down and we're going to lose a lot of money and jobs are going to be on the line. It is a fascinating system. It'll never fly in North America.
Yeah.
It'll never fly in North
I
America.
love the concept and I find it fascinating and I find it very entertaining. But yet, Jay nailed it. Or you said it, Scott, like it's the owners. Like,
Well-
they just, the way we've built our sports or pro leagues in North America is
Money.
We
Money.
want
Exclusive.
parity in North America.
Yeah.
We want all teams to have a chance. We want it's almost sort of like participation ribbon type thing. We want you all to have a good time out there. Whereas in Europe, it's you suck, you go down.
Yeah.
You're good, here's your reward.
Yeah, be better.
Yep. Straight up.
And it's been
go
framed
get
that
your
way
nice
for a long
oil
time,
money.
though,
Yeah.
right? It's been framed that way and almost built that way over time. So it's much more, I guess, accepted and the norm in Europe.
Yeah.
Whereas here, it would be catastrophic.
But I would love to see with MLS though,
Yeah.
because they do have the USFL or what is it? There's the second league below it. I forgot what it's called. And you could start
Exactly.
No.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm
thinking.
saying.
Like I'm comparing it to the USFL.
Isn't
It's
it?
the UCL.
No, it's United Professional Soccer, UPSL. Isn't that
No,
what it is?
like Phoenix has a team in it and stuff. Now I'm gonna
Vegas-
it's gonna
Well,
bother me.
Bautista
could do
just
it,
bought a
'cause
team in there.
The league is so young, you could do it still. I mean, and like in the MLS could do it.
Yes, and they just like
And a lot of the fan base is going to be from
USL.
other areas. USL.
USL, and like they have a long-standing US Open Cup that everyone plays in, MLS, and their league plays in. So it'd be interesting if they would ever go that way, where now like you could have there is a little bit of a following to that league. Can you get them?
Well,
bumped up?
if you did it right, you think of the expansion money you could get for teams that maybe don't have the money to buy into the MLS, but they know if they buy into the lower league, that one day they could slowly progress if they get the fan
Wrexham
base.
model?
Well, exactly.
That's a great point. Maybe start lower,
So this-
and then
this-
you can work your way
work your
up,
way up.
and prove that you can knock somebody into relegation, rather than just saying, "Hey, we're going to start relegating."
No, but
all
you
the
have to have
current
both.
teams.
You have to have both.
Sure.
You have to have so like that's
suppose
the
you do.
reward.
Yeah.
So that's the when you talk about relegation, you're also talking about that the lower leagues there's promotion. That let's say 2 teams in the NHL, like let's say even you go 1 West, 1 East, each they're going to get knocked down, and 1 East, 1 West, the AHL is going to get promoted every year.
But like, why? Why would we like? This is obviously not a
Because
real
you're-
thought. But like,
Because you're not good enough to be in the NHL, you've been poor, and this team's showing that they can win. So let's see if they can do it. And like that's and then that promoted team comes up, they might stay up. They might go down because they're still not good enough. But then there's others that come up and they stay up.
But you
and they
need
can't
to-
get
it's
knocked down,
nice-
and some other team gets knocked down.
it's nice to have the, ass teams come through town so you can roll them up when you're on a win streak. Like, look at January's schedule. We've feasted off of very bad teams, which is fine with me. And but not PK Subban, but it's fine with me. Okay.
That's Pernell Carl to you.
Pernell
So you'd rather
Carr.
have weaker competition potentially than a stronger league.
Every
overall.
league has parity. You just said it, and it's necessary. Because but it's not because they suck, because they a lot of times it's you suck because of injuries or you're rebuilding. I mean, the Oilers have been there.
But now there's no rebuild. Like you don't have time to have a long Buffalo Sabres rebuild.
It's
You
been a
have
long.
to turn-
It's been a
you
rebuild.
have to turn around quicker. Otherwise, you're in the American Hockey League.
It's been a long time for the Oilers.
Yep.
Yeah.
So get it going. And how many people were miserable through those 10 years going, why can't you figure this out? But now all of a sudden, if the Oilers and Daryl Cates is also going, I've got Taylor Hall and I'm filling out Rexall Place at the time with 5,000 people because we're taking on some team from the American Hockey League. I'm frustrated. I'm looking really hard at my GM and my coaches going, what are we doing here to try to get back up and stay up?
It also creates a whole bunch of really good games between, a San Jose and a Chicago. Like those games become really interesting
Yeah.
when one of those teams might get relegated.
Sink or swim.
They're big points on the line.
Huge. So you get that bottom table group that are fighting just tooth and nail. It creates a whole new set of drama. When in the near the end of the basketball season or hockey season, you know who's in the playoffs. Teams are kind of taking half nights off. You don't watch any of those lower end games because
No.
they're not going up, they're not going down. It doesn't really matter to anybody.
Maybe that's all the AJHL needed to do is introduce relegation. Then none of this would have happened.
Oh, that's a whole can of worms.
Okay, I brought this up on purpose because I don't know. I wanted to know your guys' thoughts on this because there's been really little information. Like all we know, or as the public would know, is that 4 teams, right? Five teams
yeah.
have went from the AJ to
They
the BC.
said they have made no
said they
commitments.
haven't, yeah.
They came out yesterday.
Okay, and now the AJ came back, and they had a press release yesterday that was quite intense. What's going on? So I was talking to my buddy Sickler about this, and he said that the BCHL is not
They've withdrawn from Hockey Canada.
Hockey Canada. So, like I guess accreditation, or then they couldn't go and play in nationals. Is that the case?
Correct.
Okay. Well, whereas the AJ still is affiliated.
With the SJHL
it is
and all
still
those
part
other
of the
leagues.
CJHL.
And the winner goes
Yeah.
and plays for the Nationals
Was the BC at one point affiliated?
until last year.
Yeah.
And they pulled out because Hockey Canada is a joke.
It kind of ties in, the timing kind of ties in, but there was frustration from the BCHL in regard to some of the rules and stipulations that existed in the CJHL. This is my understanding, and they brought them up, and those issues were not addressed, and then they decided to go rogue. But the Hockey Canada stuff that's happening now, it's separate from the
It's
issues.
not joined at the hip, but there is ties.
There was
to,
frustration and friction there, and yes, Hockey Canada, as we've come to learn, has a lot of problems. And this stuff that's happening with the BCHL, the junior A level, it all hit at the same time as all this other stuff.
So why did, and I know, like you said, this is not like 100% done, and they're in the BC.
I think
It's done.
publicly.
It's done. Why did these teams? What was the frustrations with these teams and the AJ? Similar to what?
Okay, there's a lot, and Belzy's really good at this. He's
I was
dialed into it, and we'll go over it on Hello Hockey
Well, you
tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
touched
10
on it.
o'clock,
Yeah.
Edmonton Sports
Tomorrow,
Talk,
10
Edmonton Sports Talk YouTube
Yeah.
channel.
That's great
And
because
we-
it needs to be properly
I
explained.
know how to self-promote.
Because there's a lot of. I don't know. I don't know if anybody has a clear idea of
So,
exactly what's going on here.
The BCHL is basically turning itself into a super league independent of Hockey Canada and its sanctions and the other Canadian junior A leagues in the country, and it's working. They have a record number of NCAA post-secondary commits ever. Like it's a record number this year that they've set. There are no sanctions as to where you can get players from, scout them, European, American, other parts of Canada. They can just go out and get them, and they're getting those players.
So money.
A lot of Alberta players are going over there. Yes, ultimately, Jay, money.
So there must be no cap on scholarships or money that you can pay your players.
But it was already the best junior league in Canada too. So it had that strength. It had its issues with Hockey Canada and the governing body and how things were being operated. Those issues were not addressed, and now it's basically turning into a rival league of the USHL, which has become a powerhouse developing players, almost on the same level of the WHL, OHL, and QMJHL, or whatever the hell the QMJHL calls itself now. I think it rebranded.
Oh, no, it's still the QMJHL.
But what is
But it's instead of Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, it's Quebec Maritimes Junior Hockey League.
That's the one. Yeah. Okay.
They made it to work so it still fits in the same
Yeah, it's
acronym.
like
It's
ECHL.
actually pretty smart.
that's pretty cool.
Like,
I got to hand it to you there. That was a good one.
ECHL doesn't mean East Coast Hockey League. It's just ECHL. Anyway,
really?
That's the minutia of it. Yeah, it's not East Coast Hockey League. It's just
Oh, I always thought it was.
ECHL.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those very much like the QMJHL. So anyway, and Tim Fragel from the
Smoke
Trail
Eaters.
Smoke Eaters was on last week, and he goes, "Listen, man, he's like, I was in Sherwood Park. I'm from Edmonton area, and I've done the AJHL thing. BCHL is like the venues are better. It's done up closer to major junior in terms of what it provides, and then now these kids are going on, and they recognize that there's a very direct path to." Continuing their hockey careers as well as getting schooling at the same time, and so it has evolved into its own beast. Like it is really becoming a thing. And these Alberta Junior Hockey League teams, and these are like the best AJHL teams, are they want in on that. And there was talk earlier in the year, and I'm like, Belzy, why doesn't the AJ just do the same thing? He goes, something's happening, but it's not really that. And it turns out that these 5 teams that have the means to go and travel and do all that can make it happen. What are you guys making fun of me
No, we're
for?
not making fun of you, and I'll go to that after.
You guys are both looking at me like, what did I
I'm
do?
looking at him. I would also say, I think the 5, it's not a shot at the AJ. They're just seeing something better.
Absolutely.
It's not that they're upset
Okay,
with the AJ.
okay,
They're
okay.
seeing something better. No, Jay said he had a friend, Sickler, you said.
Yeah.
Well, Lucas texted me because I thought the same thing. There's Sinkler is someone we know, and we're like, do you have a friend named Sinkler, just like us? And
Like, what the hell did I say?
Luke just
nothing,
texted him
nothing,
going,
nothing.
hey, Jay, do you have a friend named Sinkler? And he went, Sickler earlier, but I saw him get the text, and I was smiling at him answering that.
So another thing too is like I know that for the Sherwood Park Crusaders in like specifically, they've been looking for a new rink for a while.
And it sounds like they're getting
have
one,
they?
right?
Well,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's talks in I guess rumors more than anything that there is potential for a full-time arena in Sherwood Park, because right now they play out of used to be
Park
called
Arena.
the Shell Arena, but yeah, Sherwood Park Arena. It's quite dated. It's old. I mean, I like old barns like that. You know,
I liked playing there.
I'm the same guy that said that Rexall was fine too. So Just hear me out.
It was not fine, but it
yeah,
served.
not for you.
served its
Your egomania.
I want the bocconcini and balsamic. Thank you very much.
The media guys had a problem with it. Anyways, I digress.
Actually, the press box at
was
Rexall
awesome.
was better than Rogers.
Way better.
in terms of viewpoint.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't freezing.
No,
And it wasn't freezing.
And you're hanging over the ice, where it's
It was
here very far
phenomenal.
back.
It was one of the best.
But there's washrooms there. With Rogers, which is nice.
Yeah, they considered, really quickly as an aside, they considered putting washrooms up in the press box at Northland/Rexall, and they're like, "What if there's a leak?" It's like, "Oh yeah, that goes on to the crowd. Can't do that."
Imagine that story.
Yeah.
What am I doing here?
Look at the bottom one.
What do you got?
This Sinclair sounds like he's a beauty.
Well, it's not Sinclair.
Oh, it's Sinclair?
Sinclair.
Oh, that was from Sickler.
Yeah. Those that know that one will know what that
So
is.
there's a plot of land that is very undeveloped right off Highway 16 on your way through Sherwood Park by Emerald Hills that they've suggested that might be a landing spot for an arena for the Sherwood Park Crusaders. I don't know how the two of these things could become correlated.
They probably are.
But it sounds to me like this is a lot to do with money, right? Whereas when you release yourself from the shackles of the AJ and the CA, the Canadian Junior Hockey League and Hockey Canada, there must be the opportunity to then go and give your players more money.
You can't really.
I don't know that for fact.
or it's
let's
I'm
call
just
it
assuming.
opportunity
Right, sure.
in junior. Like you can get an allowance, but it's opportunity, and whether or not that's some kind of monetary or something that they can give you things that a typical AJHL team, like let's say Drayton Valley, for example, just as an example, can't provide you. Like it's a sweeter package going to the Sherwood Park Crusaders of the BCHL because A, you're probably going to get scouted more. B, you're right outside of Edmonton. C, they play in a sweet arena. You have all the facilities, coaching, training staff. And then, maybe you get a better allowance, so to speak, better food, whatever. It's a sweeter package with a better opportunity.
More attractive for the
Very lucrative
for the
more-
kids.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And now it's interesting in hockey, and we end up talking about it a lot on Hello Hockey because Bellsy's part of the JPHL. He's got the elite U18 team with Edmonton FC or FC Edmonton, and these kids and the parents and now agents get involved. Agents have been involved for a long time, but they pick and choose where their kids are going. And now a lot of them are trying to get in. And Tim Fragel said this. He's like, yeah, our scouting has become way easier, or recruiting is the proper term, has become way easier because we've got elite players coming to us saying, hey, I want to play for you next year.
Sure.
As opposed to sending out the old dogs to go and watch games all over Western Canada and trying to get this kid from midget AAA or Bantam AAA or whatever it's called now, U15 AAA. I don't even know, but it's kind of changed the perspective where they have these like excellent prospects knocking on their door as opposed to trying to coax them to come to their camps in late summer.
This sounds very similar to a problem I have, and I've expressed it before, and it just sickens me. That now it might be different in this level of hockey, but rep sports used to be the best of the best.
Yeah.
It is no longer, and it is disgusting what all across the board, whether it's volleyball, basketball, I'm assuming hockey, soccer, if you have the money as a parent to put your kid on this rep squad, they're going to take you.
Yep.
They will take you. Because it's about money, and it's sick. It's disgusting. Like a little insight here, but none of our girls will play rep. Are they capable? I'm sure they are. Anybody with $3,500 that wants to go to 4 tournaments in the middle of summer for soccer can. But it's just not what it was. It's not. You used to be selected for a rep squad and say, "Hey, come join us." We're trying to put together the best Sherwood Park Athletics baseball team, and we're going to go to this provincials and try win it, right? It's not like that anymore. Now you sign up and go to tryouts, and damn near all the athletes are taken, and then they throw, they're not going to be on the Div 1 team. They're going to be on the Div 3 team. Oh, but it's still rep. No, it's hogwash. It's brutal. It's a money grab. And I feel like that's what all of these associations are becoming. And it's sickening to youth sports. You know, community leagues are grossly overpriced now just to play basketball or soccer on an outdoor field, for God's sake. Right? Like, I just, sorry, I'm ranting here, but it is outrageous to me what these sports entities have done. Minor baseball, minor soccer, minor, kids basketball. Like, I can't wait for them to get into junior high level, because then it's just school.
Yeah.
You're playing school sports, and that's fun. You're playing for your school. There's none of this rep added layer to it. And, I just see so much of it. And at some point, I feel like the pendulum's got to swing, because it's getting out. Like, it's ridiculous. There's each sport has 10 different rep teams from Sherwood Park and Edmonton, and it's just, I don't know. It seems like anybody with money can put their kid on a club team now.
It used to be you'd play house league with your, like in soccer, because I never played hockey. I can't skate. But, playing soccer, you'd play house league with your buddies and your friends, and you get all in that, a team. I grew up in Fort McMurray, so it was small. You knew everybody. And then the best players would go and play a tournament. They'd practice an extra day a week on a Tuesday. The rep kids would get together and play, and then travel on a weekend. But you'd come back and play on Thursday with your community, with your house league team.
Yeah.
Which was way more, I don't know, you got to play more. The kids, not everybody was in this kind of tiered piece where the best kids only play with, which is no good for the middling kids, right? Like, it's better for everybody if the best players are playing with everybody, right? So you'll lose that now in this kind of, I agree with you, this whole kind of pay to play scenario, which is out there, right? Like,
and who's the people that get the money?
Yeah,
it's not in the reffing quality, or the facilities quality. I mean, have you been to try and play soccer at Seville Center or basketball at Seville Center on a Saturday morning? Good luck. You can't get in there. It's packed. And who's getting all this money? Where's all this money going to? I mean, I'm just, I know for a fact that, there's some, I won't say any names directly, but I've seen some associations that have built remarkable new facilities for training. And I'm wondering, where does this money come from? This is not a for-profit association, is it?
Yes.
But it is.
I'm
clearly.
thinking of hockey, they like to make a lot of money. Those coaches are paid very well. And
but that's it just takes for me, it's an integrity thing. And it's like, why are you coaching? Are you coaching because you want to develop kids in their sport, in their life, and move them through that and mature as a person and an athlete? Or are you doing it just because you're getting a bag and some glorification that you're the coach of this rep team, right?
I'd probably suggest that it's more the latter that you pointed out, because hockey's very much like that. I don't think it's ever going back to, I played club, that was the thing. Now the club hockey, it's still really good, but all these kids are going to these associations.
I know, but it used to be, it was the Sherwood Park Knights, and that was the rep system.
Yeah.
And there was AAA, AA, single A.
Yep.
And you just found it. Hockey had always done that. Baseball never. Baseball had rep, sure. But like now, it's like rep on rep on rep on rep. And now there's Sherwood Park Storm and Sherwood Park Steel. And like, when's it end? I just don't get it.
It doesn't. It's here to stay.
Money keeps going. Money keeps happening. This all keeps going on.
I love the crap.
Not for me.
And that's that. But like, once the Pandora's box open,
it's over.
You're not closing it.
Yeah.
But it's not like, it's just it's money is just ruined this low level amateur sports for kids. That's why the school thing, I can't wait, because then it's truly best on best. You can't go anywhere. If you're at that school, you're at that school. Take it. If you got a good squad or a bad squad, you're going to learn a lot.
Until we get to the point in Canada where we're recruiting in junior high and high school.
Well, and they can't play for their high school because they're playing club.
That's amazing to me.
Right? Like, that happens. Like, you can't play for that school.
On my daughter's basketball
affiliated.
team, it's U13. My daughter's 11, so she's one of the younger one. There's only 2 kids on that team in grade 6. The others are in grade 7. A lot of those girls on that team also play, like, this is community league. They also play junior high basketball. Mm-hmm. Like, where do you get the time for this? For parents. But we've made it very clear. Once you get to junior high, It's Go Ardrossan Bisons. Okay? It's that
Good
time.
name. Good
Great
name.
name.
Yes.
It's awesome. My son's in grade 9, so yeah, he's playing basketball right now. He plays on the plays volleyball team. He tries everything, right? Like, and that's
Great. That's a great place to do it.
100%, because you're with your buddies.
You're with
Yep.
your pals, and they're
There's-
going
yeah.
from team to team to team.
Yeah, and are you guys trying out for basketball? Yeah, okay, let's all go, right? Like, they have a great time. It's so much more fun, I think.
That's what it should be,
yeah,
Scott.
100%.
Portions of this hour are brought to you by the High Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out at highproductmarketing.com. Ask for Chelsea. She'll take great care of you like she did with us here at EST and will continue to do so with us at EST as we look to build more merch products.
Well, the doc
fired up.
The doc came in, and he did make a good point. And I should take some of that back. What I said about the coaching piece. There are coaches that do this for the right reason. I'm not saying every coach is in the same in the same I guess bag
vein.
or vein.
Yeah.
But it just seems like a lot of these coaches are somehow tied to the association, and it's the associations that I think are just creating so much greed, and you're not doing kids favors. I'm telling you that right now. If you're saying you're paying to play and your kid thinks they're this hotshot volleyball player that's making this rep team, but in actuality, they're not good enough to make your junior high team.
It's the best when you see, or when I was growing up playing, like now it's even worse, obviously, but mommy and daddy were paying for the kid to be on, the AAA team, and you're like, that guy's the worst player on the team.
Yeah, and kids don't.
He's
you don't
going
think the kids
nowhere.
know it on those teams, right? I don't know. We could get off it if you, want.
No,
I could
it's a
talk
thing.
for
It's a
ad
thing.
nauseam
we
about
do
it.
actually. There's one thing I need to get to with you before you go because you've got to leave.
I've
sooner
got to
here.
go. I've got to
Are
open
you guys gonna
shop.
fight?
No.
I don't think it would be much of a fight right now, especially because you got one arm.
One arm, man.
Yeah, and I'll spare you the soccer talk. You're stuck with the soccer talk after because there's a lot. We got to
Thank
talk
you.
Rangers and we got to talk Klopp. We can't not talk Klopp.
All right.
AFC NFC Championship this weekend. We can't have you on and not
Yeah,
preview those
let's
at
get
the
into
very
it.
least.
Scotty, who's winning the Super Bowl?
No, who's getting to the Super Bowl? Let's save that right now.
Baby
Let's
steps. I hate baby steps.
I hate the Chiefs. I'm a Raiders fan, so as long as they don't get any, I'd love them to lose.
Welcome to the
Sure.
Ravens side.
I'm
the
torn.
Ravens.
I don't know. On paper, Baltimore is the team that should win this game. No question.
On paper, they
On
should
paper-
win the Super Bowl.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, but if you go on paper, like the game is not played on paper. That's why the Chiefs
But
have a chance
it's
this
like
weekend.
I
That's why they might go win the Super Bowl. But they've gone and they destroyed the 49ers. They've gone and destroyed the Lions, and they're a better team than the Chiefs. On paper, the Ravens are the best team remaining.
Yeah,
But you gotta go
you're-
play these
But
games.
it's like the old, and I said this earlier in the week about Pat Mahomes
Yes.
and where his goatness is right now, and it is he is in conversations
Yes.
as we speak. He's not the GOAT. I repeat, he is not the GOAT. But it's reminiscent of when Peyton Manning used to come out and Indianapolis was hot, and then you got to play Tom and the Patriots. That's what Pat Mahomes in Kansas City has become. I know, like, throw your paper out is what I'm saying. I don't
agree.
know. I don't know. I would like Baltimore to win for you. That's
Well,
it.
thank you.
That's it. But
Thank you.
I
You don't
I
want it
do
for
think-
Lamar?
I could care less.
Indifferent.
Yeah. You're not.
Indifferent.
There's not anything with Lamar.
No, and Mark Andrews is going to play this weekend.
He's active.
Yeah, that's huge for them. If he can come and have any sort of a role, that takes a lot of pressure off their run game and Lamar. But that's the thing. I think this is going to come down to if Kansas City can manage and control the game from a defensive standpoint. If they, because offensively, what's going to happen is going to happen. They're gonna. It's you're
See,
not.
I think
gonna,
that's where the game's. That's my focus is the Baltimore defense.
I think it's Steve Spagnuolo versus Lamar Jackson, and that Baltimore offense. Whoever can win that battle, and I know it sounds simple, but I think that is a battle. And then in San Francisco, in the NFC side, if Debo's playing, I think San Francisco will win that.
He's gonna play, right?
I don't know.
I saw an
I haven't
update
seen-
on
I know,
him.
but he's like, how healthy?
Yeah,
is
he's
that's
he's
the question
dinged up.
you have,
Yeah.
and that's the thing even with the Chiefs. There's a couple guys that are banged up. Pacheco hasn't practiced this week yet.
Yep.
Like there are question marks for that, so you never know. Like with Samuel, if he's playing,
Yeah.
how actual effective could he be?
Well, and that's the question is because we saw it with Philadelphia and AJ Brown, how lackluster their offense looked without their main guy. Debo's AJ Brown times 10, I think. Like Debo is a running back and a receiver all wrapped into one, and he's probably as good as Christian McCaffrey as a running back. No, not a word of a lie. That guy can move. If he is healthy, I hate to say it because I've got a major future on Detroit to win the Super Bowl.
You have a future on all four.
I did come through with all four. And I said this on the morning show. My buddy and I randomly picked 4 teams each, so it's 8 teams in total.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like you nailed this after last year's Super Bowl.
The day after last year's Super Bowl. Nice. Yeah. So, but Detroit's is plus 3,300. So I'm kind of leaning that way.
I'm rooting for them, just like with the heart. Like,
obviously there's, and I mean, obviously for EST's purposes, we desperately are asking for a Detroit Lions, Baltimore Super Bowl because
we want to see a fight.
That at Century Casino would be epic.
Yeah,
you have to sit on off. They'd have to sit.
Watch that.
No,
because it's going to be stressful.
It's not as much the stressful is at Century Casino. I've brought this up all week. If it's Lions versus Ravens, who do you think most of the nasties are going to support?
Yeah, trust me.
They're all going to be pro Dusty and pro Lions, and I'm going to have to deal with that hate.
You're looking at 2 guys that have to draft with Dusty.
Be good.
Yeah,
we get the Dusty bias.
It'll be fun though when they win.
Solidarity.
If the Ravens win, everyone's going to think I'm a sore winner because I'll be like excited. Like, Dusty's sad right now. Why are you doing this to Dusty?
Okay, here's Maddie. Hear me out. If it's Lions Baltimore in the Super Bowl, we have to live stream that.
I don't think we can.
Just cameras at you?
A GoPro?
Like, just like how we did the Oilers watch party. Just have 2 cameras at you and Dusty sitting beside each other, having to watch the whole game sitting side by side. That would be...
I think I'll be calm.
Pure joy. I mean, hey...
Dusty will not be.
Dusty will be a wreck.
I've seen my Ravens win 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
It's happened. Like there's a little I think like they'll.
He always says this.
What?
No, he doesn't.
I've seen it.
Yeah, screw you.
I've watched them win. You should have. I don't know why you didn't see your Commanders win.
Well,
it was the '90s.
I'm still blown away that he's a Commies fan.
How'd you get into the Raiders?
It was my dad.
Yeah,
he had a. I think
he was in Mexico.
Yeah, basically.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah, hey, Dad. He was a Raiders fan.
Okay.
He had a Raiders lighter that I really like. I like the logo, right? Like, as a kid.
That's what I love about Canadian NFL fans is there's the story of why you like that team. Like, why do you like them?
So funny.
I'm from Edmonton. This is my team type thing.
Yeah.
Well, why do you like the Detroit Lions type thing? It's like the stories behind it are the best stories.
Yeah, and then I'm a big Bo Jackson guy, so I'm a Royals fan too.
Super Tecmo Bowl?
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah.
Bad in that game.
It'll be a fun week in the playoffs, I think.
I think it'll be great.
Yeah.
I think it'll be great. Are both games on Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah.
So 1 o'clock.
Even better.
Thank God it's the AFC game first. And then it's like 4:30 or something is the second game.
Yeah.
They should be good games. The Lions are a wild card, I think. I feel like.
I don't know. I just
don't know what to expect.
You cannot doubt them. Like, if Brock Purdy plays the way he did last game, it's not going to be enough. Because, I mean, and I get it. He didn't have Debo. If Debo's not healthy and Brock plays 50%, Lions could go in there and win that game. Mm-hmm. Lions could win it heads up in a shootout, too.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't know what to expect with
their secondary is a question.
It's a thing where, like, are we surprised if it's Chiefs-Lions Super Bowl on Monday?
I'm not surprised if it's any combination of the four.
That's the thing. No. Like, there could be the 2 quote-unquote upsets, but I could see that.
My favorite path to Super Bowl would definitely be Detroit, Baltimore for many reasons.
Yeah.
One, just because the dynamic at EST, but secondly, because I don't care for the 49ers have been good for a little while here. The Chiefs, they can screw off. They've done great.
Agreed.
Like go away.
Yeah.
I don't care, and I certainly don't want to. I love Taylor Swift. Blah blah blah. I don't want to see her at Super Bowl.
Ooh.
What?
Winnipeg Sports Talk in the nasty chat. I'm guessing this is Huss. Don't worry, Iwanyk. You won't have to worry about the Ravens in the Super Bowl. # Chiefs Kingdom.
Gross.
Sure, Huss.
What up, Huss?
Sure.
We'll
see.
I love Huss.
I'm worried. I can't trash talk too much. I am worried, but we'll find out. We'll see how it all plays out. That's
fun.
the thing. It's
It's
Patrick
awful.
Mahomes.
Yeah. I mean, I even liked him in that quarterback show. Like I got, like it was entertaining to watch. It was you kind of like him, but I can't stand him on the field.
I think of the 2 teams, like you can be a little confident going into this game.
The only reason I'm not is Patrick Mahomes. That is legit the only reason.
Yeah, that's the Tom Brady factor.
No offense to Josh Allen, even. No offense to any other quarterback in the NFL. That team could have any other quarterback right now. And I would feel really good about the Ravens based on how the Ravens have played this year, the way their defense is. And watching last week, I don't like that Chiefs defense that much. I think Lamar is going to be able to run over them and also throw all over them. Like, they will get their points when they need to. But it's just the fact that they have the guy who has more playoff wins in his first 6 seasons than Tom Brady did. Only one less Super Bowl than him, who could go get his 3rd Super Bowl here. And it just goes and wins. Like, has the connection with Travis Kelce that is the greatest playoff connection in history already. Like, it's that factor is the only reason I'm nervous. If there was no Patty Mahomes and it was any other quarterback, if it was Joe Burrow in Kansas City right now, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, yeah, the Ravens, we're going to win this football game.
Man, that sounds like eerily reminiscent to a quarterback that used retired last year.
Yes.
I forget his name. I think people call him the GOAT. But, man, that Pat Mahomes is sure something else, eh? Like, it's not even... It's happening. So
that
yes,
they're going to win?
I don't. I just...
And then there's the T Swift factor.
There was a couple years where they didn't
Everything
win, too.
She comes around and thinks they're going to win for T Swift.
Yeah.
Lions, Ravens would be impeccable, but I'm also I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious, but they have the logo that was an Office quote. Nobody laughed.
I got it.
Jerks.
Well,
I got the stitches.
We all got it.
I respect it. Well played.
It's like, it's Friday.
But did you want us to like, oh, Jay, you. The best
No, don't you dare.
I'm going to pull it out, DA.
Don't pull
best
an Eric.
references are the ones where people,
All right, sure.
you just keep going.
Let 'em slide.
But the logo for Super Bowl, whatever
Yes.
it is
58.
has some
Purple
pink
and red.
and purple and red, and I don't know if you've seen the logos from the past
2 years.
Is it 2?
2 years. This would be year
This would
3
be
of
year
the
3?
controversy. Have you heard the controversy?
Where the logo color is the color of the teams that are going to be playing in that game. And it's
is it scripted? Are we saying it's scripted?
Well, and then there was the Vancouver CTV station that had last weekend on one of their little sidebars that the Ravens are playing the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Like they wrote it out. And people screen capped that and went there.
Well,
There's a lot of controversy for this.
couple of things.
So, I mean, it's the,
So, this is done a little bit before. So, a couple years ago, the colors of Super Bowl 56 had the Bengals and Rams colors in it. Last year, Eagles, Chiefs colors in it. This year, it's looking like that would be Ravens and 49ers. And the logo came out a while ago.
I feel like if that was if you put like the Raiders in there, they're gonna say, oh, there's a little bit of black or there's a little bit of silver. I think it's a little bit of.
Can I just real quick here?
But Lions doesn't fit
You have the
that.
floor.
No.
You have the floor.
Chiefs
no,
do.
these guys are
Chiefs do.
Yeah.
Tommy has the
really
punch.
quickly. It's in Vegas. It's the desert. If you ever seen a sunset, if you've been in the Phoenix area, Palm Springs, Las Vegas, like those are the colors. Those are the colors of the sky at night.
Sure.
And then I know we all love a good conspiracy, especially after COVID, because we all deep dived on conspiracies and we all think that the NFL is scripted. But like, give your head a shake. That is not. And then the CTV thing. As we know, being former
Mistakes.
Bell employees, there's nobody in that newsroom who has an effing clue about sports that's left.
I give credit to the NFL because Aaron Foster also started the scripted comment in a podcast.
Which was a total
Scripted.
joke.
Yeah, but, well, with Aaron Foster, you never know.
No, it was macro dosing on Barstool, and it was like they scripted the script.
But I love that the NFL commercials this year were
Yeah.
the
Scripting.
scripting.
Yeah.
I love how
They've
they
embraced
played
it.
into
Yeah.
that and fully went in
Why
on
not?
that. It was hilarious. That was really well
Yeah.
done. But
Anyway.
the conspiracy for the AFC will come either way. If the 49ers
Of
win.
course.
If it's Ravens 49ers, people look at the logo. If it's Chiefs, people are going to be like Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
You
right.
wanted T Swift there, you wanted, Pat
Yeah.
Mahomes there. Like that's going to be people will always claim controversy. The only
Of
one that will
course.
be is the Lions.
Well, because it's fun to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
The black dark web or whatever.
It's going to be fun games.
Yeah.
It's
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, NFL playoffs are phenomenal.
Where are you watching on Sunday?
at my house.
The Palatial Palace.
Just go by myself. Just
On the 25th
watch it.
floor?
I usually go to my parents at about like 3:00 usually for Sundays, but I'll have to go later. I'll have to wait till the game's over to head over because I'll want to watch it. And I'm glad it's early because
Get it over with.
get it over with. Nerves are gone. And if they lose, Like I'll just be angry and won't go to sleep right away. But or like anything, I get the rest of the Sunday night to just be mad and miserable.
You better not be throwing glass bottles off that balcony because I don't want to see the condo board emails.
No, I won't do that.
Somebody's done that.
Oh yeah, well, and the wings
Things blow off.
Things
the
blow off.
balcony.
People
Right,
are down
right,
there and
right.
stuff out
Well,
there.
especially up on the
They're back.
28th floor where it's windier.
25th.
Yeah,
25th.
It is windier
palatial.
up there. It's
You know
very
they have
windy up
private
there.
security on that floor.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Every floor has its own security.
yeah I know, but your
does.
floor does.
It does. Ninth floor.
Well, I've got to go open
Yeah,
up
you've
shop.
got to go. I don't know if Eric's going to come in or not. He might. He might.
I
not.
hope he does.
Great seeing you,
You too,
Scott.
Jay,
Take care.
Hey, Tommy, have
See you. Thank you,
thank
Jay.
you for the coffee. Have a wonderful
Yeah,
weekend.
thank you.
Hey, good luck to you, brother.
Thank you very much. I
I
appreciate
hope
that.
I hope it works out.
He's,
Is Eric
so
coming
do
in?
I.
Yo,
Well,
Rick.
I don't know if he is or not. He said, "Do I want him or not?" And I said, "It's up to him."
Yeah.
Because he's
Get
in a
that.
rough. He's just going to come in
coming.
today. It's
Man.
he's in a sadder mood today, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys
okay?
always have to.
I'll
shake
be
hands.
fine. You know, the sun will come up tomorrow.
It's we now. Tom, you. We'll see what you want to
the Premier
pump in.
League and in 3 cups. Not that bad, right? No, yeah.
It's the
Good
farewell tour for Klopp. Maybe it's a nice way to.
Sure as hell is,
So
yeah.
I don't think people understand how big of a deal the announcement today is that Klopp is out. When we started the morning show today, it was front news on ESPN.
Yeah.
It was on their website.
Yeah,
Like that's how
It's massive.
Jurgen Klopp is he'll go down as one of the greatest managers of Premier League history.
One of the best man or woman or person managers in world sport.
Very like
He could take
was
you-
very socially aware too.
We
about
could play.
things going
He
on.
could have us playing League One. I have no talent. I have no confidence. He'd put an arm around me, and he'd have me like. He could turn chicken, you know what, into like it was just amazing. Money, whatever. But you could. What he does is like that's the part. Forget about soccer. Forget about the partisan allegiances or alliances. The human being aspect of it. Yeah, I'm numb. I'm pretty numb.
It's crazy to think 9 years can wear on you that much, but in those leagues it does. And then you make it look at like Ferguson, who did 23 years, I think, and then Wenger and with Arsenal.
Yeah.
Like how long those guys lasted.
Yeah.
Like it's just when you think of like it's a wild.
Well, and it's a different animal, running one of these Premier League teams.
The
right?
the giant brand and
exactly.
global
the global
recognition.
and the player management is different. Like it's like we talked about earlier. You're playing in so many different cups. You've got like youth teams and guys on loan, and like they're doing everything for these clubs. I can't imagine.
And there's no breaks almost
yeah.
anymore.
Well, no, and he's
'Cause,
actually-
if you go to Champions League, they've been in 3 Champions League finals.
Success comes at a price.
But it's 3. Like
Yeah.
they've been. So that takes you till like the end of May, early June.
You then have
And-
international commitments and duties
Well,
that
and then
players go on.
preseason starts for Klopp and Liverpool or any of those clubs in July.
But he's been one to publicly spearhead
Yes.
his thoughts and opinions based on look, you want to play more games, NBA in season, any example for North American, but you want more because it's more money and more revenue. Well, when at the same time, then you're damaging your assets. You're damaging are you getting the most out of these guys when you're running them ragged and having them play? I don't think you are. He got chastised for it because he's complaining. But whenever any other club suffered at the foot of that, oh, wow, too many games. Same with the VAR and officiating.
Mourinho got ripped for that. He would complain about it and he'd get ripped.
He too is a bit of a firebrand, and he would go out of his way, and he's a polarizing figure. But I think in England, and in terms of managing a club like Liverpool and being a German that Klopp is, not too many friends, let's say, in the English media and the English stratosphere, I guess, when it comes to sports. So he said when he got appointed, he's the normal guy. He just wants to try out regular life now, see what that's like. And as a human, he's fully
I don't
entitled
believe
to.
that fully.
Well, he's going to try it now.
I think naturally Nagelsmann leaves Germany after this
Sure.
Euro.
But managing a
And
country,
then who does Germany go
the rigors
hire?
of managing a club day in
It's
day out is
perfect for
different
Klopp
than
to go take
managing
that spot.
managing
Yeah.
a nation is a
Well,
lot different. So
you've got
that's
a lot more
different.
rest.
It's a different job.
You got a lot more.
He's not going to go into that job
Yep.
tomorrow. He'll take
No.
some time, and that'll take some time.
But it seems like just a perfect natural spot.
Yeah.
Because I don't see even if you guys, because you're German, have a great Euros.
Which
I don't
they
see-
won't.
I don't see Nagelsmann wanting to stick around.
I hope they don't.
Well,
Game
they-
one in the Euros. You
Nagelsmann
play
is-
us.
You guys, yeah.
You play us, yeah. Opening match.
I don't think he's still a young guy too, brilliant, but I don't think he commands that. That team's got a lot of
He's
individuals and whatnot. But he'd be a perfect guy to put in there right now with the timing in sports, right? Put
built
him in
up
there.
for the 26 World Cup.
he could easily win a World Cup or a Euro, if not both.
Yep.
Given this timeline.
And you could see his motivation. Like he'd be perfect for that short stretch. And I say short stretch, World Cup qualifying, is 3 years long, but it's different, right? Like you could see him being perfect for a national team. Just
and at this stage in his life, you're not
experience.
You're not working, 2 days in a day or whatever it is.
Yeah. Scotland, Germany is the opening match of the Euros.
Maybe Canada goes for Klopp. Open
you
up
want
the
to watch
books.
somewhere?
Yeah, we gotta watch
I'm looking to
together.
make positive plans now moving forward. Let's hammer that out.
Well, but we kind of hinted at. I don't think anyone heard at the start of the hangout. The one thing we missed of that World Cup was the patio beers.
For sure.
There is something about watching soccer in the summer where you're sitting on a patio watching the match, drinking your beer, Guinness.
Absolutely.
I'd like to do that with you guys.
That'd be fun.
You're in.
Pint to 6 o'clock or lager, whatever it might be. And we get that in the summer with Copa and Euros. And it's going to be just a wonderful time.
It's going to be great.
Klopp to Canada.
Well,
What would you do, Maddie? Would you be celebrating that?
Of course.
Really?
Look,
I jest.
Jurgen Klopp is like a Mike Tomlin to me. I don't want success from where he currently is.
Oh,
I
everyone's
never did,
celebrating. Everybody's
right?
celebrating around the Premier League
but
today.
It's a great day
big day.
today for a Manchester
Absolutely.
United fan because a great manager has left Liverpool
Yeah.
who turned you guys around. And the hope is maybe the next one doesn't work.
I
And
think
you guys
Everton,
go back downwards.
Everton presented themselves with a trophy today. To mark the occasion.
They got
It's
a
their only
banner.
one, but they'll take what they get.
but that shows
They put a banner up.
that shows the respect of how good he
Absolutely.
is.
No,
Right?
that-
And like,
that's telling.
I will always respect Klopp as a manager when I don't like what he accomplished there
Very
because
telling.
I don't want Liverpool to have accomplished
Absolutely.
anything.
Absolutely.
But he is a great manager and I can't deny it. And who knows? Pep might be gone in the next year or two, depending on the charges
Yeah,
that are
that's-
faced with the city, and now the whole Premier League will be completely shifted.
Yep.
But no, look, if Canada could get a Klopp,
Wow.
we'll never even come
No.
close.
Again,
But
I say
like,
it
I-
again.
I don't
Germany,
just-
it'll be Germany or nothing, right?
It would be just the greatest thing Canada's ever accomplished in soccer.
We'd hang a banner. I'd hang a banner. I'd banner the whole place.
I will buy a Liverpool jersey for that.
Wow.
Just one. I won't wear it, but I'll
Listen,
buy
see,
it.
he's so happy. He's throwing in
Because
all
I
these
just want
things.
because Canada soccer is just a disaster.
It's a mess.
And now there's the TV deal is a mess. It came out yesterday.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
saw that?
Oh, yeah.
There's no.
Oh, tell me. I love the juicy details of Canada soccer.
So
You
one
gotta dig into this
soccer,
one.
one soccer is the rights holder of both the Canadian Premier League broadcast as well as the Canadian national teams, all of the national.
It
teams.
was
And
the
they're-
start of a new day
Yeah.
with one. Like
And they're-
this is your place for it, one-stop
They're owned
shop.
by a Spanish outlet, Media Pro or something. And that Canadian business soccer, whatever the heck that is messed up Canada soccer as a whole, signed a deal with them for 10 years to be the broadcaster of all of this.
Right.
Well, yesterday they said Media Pro hasn't paid bills last year, so we're ending this agreement immediately. Media Pro saying you guys didn't live up to promises of us, so that's going to go to court.
Lovely.
But now the entire rights of the Canadian national team and the Canadian Premier League are up for grabs. No one has them. The Canadian Premier League will begin play in like 3 months. They don't have a broadcaster. And the Canadian men's soccer team in March has a big game against Trinidad and
Huge
Tobago
game, huge
to go to Copa America. No idea who's going to air that game. No idea who's going to play that game.
Throw in a bid, toss in a bid.
Hey.
right
Warner
on.
Armstrong, I think, is in charge. I'll send her
Let's
that
go.
email.
Quick note.
We'd like to YouTube this.
We'd like to
we'll send
dip
the
into
crew
this.
down and
Yeah.
set up our cameras.
We'll
on the
make it
field.
work. We'll make it work.
Yeah.
You'll want to be part of a broadcast?
100%.
Yeah, excellent.
Perfect.
Run
We got
cable.
this.
Yeah, perfect. I'll do anything.
Dusty could call it, and we'll be the panel.
Sure.
We could. And Tommy, you could host. Throw to us.
Great. I
We'll
don't
do
have to
that.
know the game.
Sideline?
No, you just-
Fantastic.
Sideline.
But so now there's none of that. So now they don't even we don't even know who's going to carry these games, and there's a celebration because maybe these go to regular TV and people could watch this sport again as opposed to having subscribed to one.
Is
soccer.
it like a Bali thing in the
But-
States with all of that going on in the NHL? Like, is there some sort of a just to draw a comparison and for
Yeah, I guess the Media Pro is struggling with money. There was an issue with the French league and rights with them that they were paying for the rights there. So, but then the flip side to this is One Soccer at least cared about soccer. Like the people they hired,
passionate
they're
people.
passionate
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
it. They tried doing this. If the rights go to TSN or Sportsnet, are they going to care?
I have I have
Like, are they just
something
going to
on this.
play the game
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden
CFL
there's
fan
no
here,
other talk, right? And it's
Kinda
like
walk
so the
through it, eh?
Canadian
Yeah.
soccer fan right now is also going like, well, what's going to happen here? And then before you continue on that, like
problem.
the manager of the men's team is still an interim. We don't have a manager.
I remember that.
And the new general secretary of Canada Soccer was supposed to start on Monday this week, but she quit on the first day
That's
for
great.
medical reasons.
Medical reasons.
Oh, okay.
But
It's
highly
come
coincidental.
out,
Like,
but
just-
it's just like then you
That
look at
sucks.
Canada Soccer, and
Timing
we're
again,
just
yeah.
this utter
It's a mess.
disaster. And we're hosting the World Cup in 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's the best team we've ever had. Like it's
It's a generation of you want to
yeah.
make a little hay. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the time to get new fans and to get kids watching.
Bring in Marino.
yeah.
Well, that's
It's the only thing that can save
I'm
us.
just
now.
gonna dream
Yeah.
of Ancelotti or Moreno or now
Yeah.
Klopp coming to Canada
How
and
much
take us
money?
and like, yeah,
How
I'll
much?
go put up the hat.
Yeah.
Could we start a
Well,
GoFundMe for that?
crowdsource for that.
Yeah.
Why not, eh?
Yeah.
Brent does say, doesn't someone have to have an English accent to get broadcast rights? Can any of you pull off an English accent?
Not well, but yeah.
I was born in Scotland. Does that count?
Yeah.
That's fair
Absolutely.
enough. I think so.
Yeah.
You're still
We
in the
got it.
Commonwealth.
Yeah,
correct?
I'll go spend some time there.
You're
The
in.
accent will come out a little bit,
Yeah.
and we'll be
Perfect.
fine. We'll be
Well,
fine.
I think Dusty could pull off an English accent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
We'll
guess
get
not
on the
well.
call a
Barbie,
game
right?
of the
Yeah.
full English accent that will sound Australian.
Love it, actually. Yeah.
That'll be perfect. So we'll put our names in. You were going to say
I
something.
like on a serious note, I'm not being debbed up, but in regard to this, no to Sportsnet, no to TSN, because it would just become like fodder for them. It would just be another thing.
Sleepwalk through.
But then who
Yeah,
takes
that's
them?
I'm gonna say this is where CBC can step up. You know why? Because CBC, first of all, you have the whole Andy Petrillo is phenomenal.
She's great.
There's the tie-in to I think
She's on
One
One Soccer.
Soccer,
They
right?
still cover sports,
Yeah.
albeit a different.
They have the resources, they have the technical aspect, they have the talent to just they do their sports Saturdays.
Yeah.
They have everything to just take it and go with soccer, and they could own it. They have it's CBC is
Accessible,
on
it's-
every
exactly.
television in Canada. If you have a cable package, it comes with CBC. This is where they could step up and really deliver.
But then the
and
flip
they
side-
haven't really outside of hockey.
Are we going to get the extra programming from CBC like that One Soccer provides?
They
Right?
probably could do it if they wanted
If they
to.
would.
If they
But you're
wanted
just
to
talking
own
about
it.
World Cup kind of in the
Yeah.
moment and doing that.
Well, the World
I
Cup
think-
like Copa America's on TSN. World Cup's on TSN.
So that's
Those
fine.
events
You're
are
talking about Canadian
paid
Premier
for-
League and everything else that
but
follows
also
it.
the qualifying and stuff. Like now we don't have to worry about all the qualifying, but like Copa America rights are TSNs. They've bought those rights, but that goes through different branches.
Yeah.
But to watch the one play-in game for Canada and Trinidad and Tobago, that was owned by One Soccer.
So just that-
but now
that
that's
lone
gone.
game. Yeah, well,
Why Gold Cups would
it
have been
up.
One Soccer. Canadian women's national team games would have been One Soccer. The men's national team, if there's World Cup qualifying, was One Soccer. The next tournament, there is no qualifying because we're automatically in the World Cup, but there'll be friendlies.
games.
And they'll have to play friendlies. Where are we going to watch those friendlies?
No, because
This is
we're
where
You need it all in one
yeah.
spot, though, I think, because otherwise, like, what happens? So the CBC broadcast is on, then they've got the games, but then is Sportsnet and TSN going to cover it? Like, are they going to be? Or are they going to be kind of,
They should.
but will they be an afterthought?
Well,
you
it
know,
depends,
it's like.
yeah.
Were they doing NASL games, CBC, or even CPL? Just
They did it for the first year of CPL. They carried some
Was that
games
what it was?
with One Soccer.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
associated
yeah,
with them, and then they
split.
stopped.
You're right though. They have the means.
They
have
can
the
plug and
technology.
play, and they can own it.
But this is
They
where
have the
TSN
opportunity.
needs to step up and own it because you have Copa America.
Do you have faith in
No,
them?
They
because
don't
they
need to
didn't do
own
it in this
anything.
last
They
World
don't
Cup.
need to
but-
own
and
anything.
you're-
We worked for
And
them.
you are the
Yeah.
World Cup of 2026 host. Promote the team that you're going to promote them.
Yeah.
Like you could
Start
have that full
building it.
lead up. Absolutely. So it's an interesting time, Canada Soccer, but Klopp, Ancelotti, Mourinho,
CBC.
Canada Soccer. Pick your choice. We'll get one of them.
You
They're all
choose.
interesting.
Pick your
Pick who you
I
want.
mean, hell,
Pick who you want.
Pick
whatever you want.
Let's go get it done.
No wrong choice here.
We'll interview you.
We're good with all three.
Bring your best.
Just bring
Wow.
them. And yes,
question, yeah.
Edmonton Sports Talk. We'll work on getting Canada, Trinidad, and Tobago
I like
on our
this.
thing. We got to talk quickly Rangers too. How are things with your Rangers?
Better than they were to start, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, Clement's come in and done a good job, but you know, it's Scottish football, so I mean,
How easy is it to watch? What do you watch it on?
I usually stream it.
Yeah, you have to find.
Yeah, I gotta
like, there's-
find it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pirate
gotta
stream,
find it.
eh?
Yeah. There's a couple, get highlights after the game and stuff like that. But yeah, wherever and whenever you can, kind of stream it. But you got to read a lot of reports. Is basically
That reminds me of
You guys
back
are
in the
still
day.
in Europa?
Yeah, we're still in Europa. Still
That's
in Europa.
coming up in a
we won
few
our
weeks and stuff.
won our group. So
Who do you play in the
Don't know
knockout
yet.
round?
It's
No,
the next
you
big-
got the bye.
Oh,
then.
we got the bye.
we got the bye through.
Same with us,
So,
yeah.
So I think the next games are end of February,
February,
22nd or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because early Feb would be those first games.
Yeah.
With the Champions League clubs that came down.
Yeah.
That does not involve Manchester United because we were trash.
Well,
So
You could get a conference league spot though this season. Let me have one.
For those listening,
Let me
no,
have
I
one
would
today.
say, depending how England does in those competitions, there's a chance fifth gets
Yeah,
you.
the coefficient.
Yeah,
all
that's
switches,
gonna because they're. I'm not excited about the Champions League changes next year.
Neither am I.
no,
Like where you just play 10 teams and you're not in a group, and it's just.
I don't know why
Money,
you change
money,
it.
money,
I know
money,
why you
money,
change it.
And this
but,
is where, like, with the Super Leagues coming back with Real Madrid and Barcelona, and part of me kind of goes, like, I can't be mad at the Super League anymore because the
You
Super League
understand
happened.
now.
UEFA and FIFA are like, oh, we can't allow that to happen. Integrity of the game.
Yeah.
And then that happens, and they do all these changes with money, and you're like, well,
The question
you're
is
not better.
which change do you want less or
Yeah.
more or
You're not-
whatever? Like because
exactly.
they're both going to change.
You're
and
not
they're both
any
gonna,
better. You're talking about bringing Saudi clubs inside Champions League.
Well,
It's like, what is that?
Isn't that Saudi league a joke? Like I watched the
Players are already
highlights
trying to
where
leave.
It's a money. It's a money. If
money.
you need
Totally.
money, you go there. But if you
Yeah.
want to,
it doesn't help the
a
game.
paycheck is a paycheck. But if you want to, like Messi made the right choice, in my humble opinion, going to MLS as
Yep.
opposed to, and I know Cristiano Ronaldo is breaking records to score goals, but nobody,
Yeah, it's
But
got
nobody
50
cares.
defends.
Nobody cares.
You just walk in and
Well, nobody
shoot.
defends.
Like, I
Nobody
watched
cares.
that. I'm like, what is this?
Whereas you go to the USA, you're still
You're playing.
This is what's happening, Tommy, that like Manchester United has two guys that they're trying to offload. They're done with these guys. They're hoping that they could get cash from Saudis. Like that's where you look
probably-
at
It's
it.
a washing
It's
machine.
the
Yeah,
Arizona
it's a washing
Coyotes
machine.
like, I need to dump contracts.
Yeah.
They've become like, oh, maybe the Saudis will overpay for this player so we can get the cash.
And if your
wash
Premier
it
League
out.
club
good
is
business.
owned by Saudi Arabia, even more tight.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah.
we need to offload something here. I'll give you
No
200
problem.
million pounds. Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then Newcastle gets more and more money
it's
and
so
buys
pathetic
other players.
and right out in the open,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah. They're not even trying to hide it.
No, why would you?
Messi going to the MLS is interesting. I think, like, because it was a better move for him. He's going to get way more exposure. He probably owns part of the team. I don't know the deal.
there
but-
It was
must be,
debatable
yeah.
at the
It's
start.
close
I think.
to home.
Yeah, it's
for him. He likes it.
Yeah.
He wants to be quick flight to Argentina.
yeah.
But most of the players that went to the Saudi league, or not most, but there is a good chunk and handful of them are either A, disappointed, B,
Benzema's already talk of coming back. Like
Yeah.
the only
Yeah.
person I think I've heard that is actually enjoying their time there is Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Well, Ronaldo's the
Right.
highlight I saw
Well,
where
'cause
he
he's-
took the
I-
ball like
he's the league.
75 yards, and the guys just kept backing off, and he gets to the what?
But it seems like everyone's
the
upset
box,
about
he
being there.
just
Mancini's
pumps one.
upset about being their new manager of the national team there, and it's
Yeah, money's great, but these guys are all
hollow.
they're all professional. So they all did something really really well to get to where they are, right? So they're super, alpha males, and they're
Yeah.
they want to win and they want to train, but they want to be competing, like
Yeah.
they're competitors.
Yeah.
So I think they go there and they go, yeah, it's great to have lots of money, but the competition's awful. They're not getting
There's no
any joy.
prestige, there's no-
no one's
No.
watching. Like no one cares.
And at least living in America or the USA and doing that is you still
there's
have
some talent in the MLS.
well, you have access to other
There's
things.
access to other things, yeah.
I mean, whatever it is, living in Miami, doing movie, whatever you fill in the blank, but a
Buying
little more
Lucky
options.
Charms at the grocery store,
Whatever,
like a normal
yeah,
person.
yeah. Messi had a thing. He was at a stoplight or something.
Yeah, you see
So
that?
you said
Yeah.
somebody pulled up with a kid. Messi, and he's like standing at a stoplight, and they throw a jersey into the car, and he signs it and throws it back,
back.
and like,
They lost this week, Inter Miami.
are they?
Dallas in some
Are they
something on
still?
Monday.
He took him to play. Are they in playoff contention? Is that still? Are they
he came
No,
late.
season's
to that.
over.
season's over? I can't keep up with
MLS is
MLS.
a calendar year. They don't go.
Are they the
across.
cup? Cup is all.
I can't remember. It was some sort of cup. They lost to
'cause
Dallas
he was
this week.
dragging them into the playoffs. Was he
Yeah,
not
no,
or
and then
something
they got
like
hurt
that?
and they missed. No,
Yeah.
that's what did they lose to? It was this U.S. Cup? Oh, no, just a club friendly, I guess. But like they had everyone playing. Messi was playing. Suarez was playing. They still lost 1-0.
Damn.
But
Suarez.
no, their season begins like Feb, and it goes.
They take
to
a break
November.
though too, don't they, or something?
It's weird. They don't take full breaks. Like,
What, weeks off?
well, they'll take it here and there, but they don't take the international breaks like normal.
I just can't follow that damn league because it's such a North American schedule and standings and all that. Like I need the. Yeah, I know you guys were talking promotion relegation and all that earlier, but I just that's real. Like that's. You can be at the top or the bottom or anywhere in between, and you're still fighting for something, whether it's money or even prestige or a cup or to save your life in advertising dollars or
Yeah,
whatever it
you
is.
think of the millions of dollars are getting demoted.
But even not even like a say football or hockey, the two worst teams, you battle it out, final game or a one-off. Then that team gets the draft pick or whatever, the prize or the
See,
jewel
and
at the end of the road.
And I just love how there's that like you get a draft pick to help your team get better. Whereas Over there, it's you lose, you go down, and the only benefit is you're still just up.
It's rich
you don't get
socialism
anything
here.
else.
Yeah.
It's not like in Europe. They're like, you've won, you're still here. Here's a player.
Yeah.
That's
No,
going to
no.
be really good to
Yeah,
help you.
generational talent. Yeah,
Figure
yeah.
it out next year.
Yeah.
You're lucky. You survived.
Sink or swim.
Be better.
Be better.
Scott, this is great having you on.
I appreciate
We'll have to
it.
do it again at another point.
That's
awesome.
This was a fun. We got to talk some soccer.
Yeah, that's good.
Have him on the pod.
Sorry. Sorry about today again.
Yeah, it sucks.
But maybe last ride.
That's
Last
what it
dance.
is.
It's
The
gonna-
last
they're
You
dance.
got to look at it that way, right?
And those players are going to play
Oh, yeah.
so much harder now if they didn't already know.
Doubters to believers.
It's going to be. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. It's its own podcast. Be sure to check it out, EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
excited about
On behalf
this.
of Tom Gazzola, I'm Matt Iwanyk, also Lieutenant Eric, Jay Milne, and Scott Laurie. Thanks for tuning in to the EST Hangout at noon, live from the Boston Pizzas in Windermere. It is Tom Gazzola and Dustin Nielsen
He's
with
coming
the oil
too.
And
stream.
me.
But you're not going to be on the air.
I'll be in a booth. I'll be in a booth. No,
You'll
I
be
ain't going on there.
And up next, it is the Lock Shop with Dusty and Haas. Dusty also going to be at the BPs in Windermere. That's coming up next here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk with you on Monday.